And we are coming down in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Getting Sports with Drunk. I'm your hostess, Cupcake the Riddler, and I'm joined by
Mark.
the Captain.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting a nope. But, am I off?
No, you're
No,
there.
you hear me? I am Mojito today.
The Masker's Massey.
And the Rat of a Red Baron.
Static.
Rat.
A lot of liveliness in the show today. I can't hear myself in my headphones.
Say something?
Hear himself without.
I don't think I can hear anybody in my
I
headphones.
hear you.
All right. Can you turn my headphones up, Mass? See if maybe that's the problem. Oh, not that high. Jesus Christmas. A little higher. That's good. All right. Welcome to another edition of Getting Sports with Drunk. We're actually full capacity tonight, despite COVID's best efforts. Yeah. So last week we did our fantasy draft live kind of thing. We'll keep you updated on that as it goes throughout the season. Also keep you updated on Pick'ems, which Mass and I still need to log in and be a part of. And then we're gonna do a couple other like fantasy type of things to go throughout. But before that, starting lineups is kind of a solid lineup all across because the Rat brought a beer for everybody. So Rat, tell us about the beer. All right, Soul, tell us about the beer.
So, we are drinking Cloud Sourced. It's a hazy, juicy IPA from Two Roads, located in Connecticut.
What town?
See, you gotta be that guy.
Hartford.
No. Much southern.
Isn't that what he says? Hartford for Two Roads? Isn't that the one he says Hartford for all the time?
Hartford outside of Hartford.
Yeah.
Jackass.
If you're going to make fun of Kyle, you do it right.
Yeah, for reals, with a Z. Yeah.
Sometimes he just makes fun of himself.
Yeah, that's all we need to do in life.
Massey, can you actually turn my headphones down a little bit? I can hear myself and I don't like it.
You know what I am saying? Dog with
Yep.
a G?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
No.
Kendall, knock that shit off over there. Me introducing your beer. Yeah, fucking rat.
Smash, where did we land on that wall plug?
Well,
Or is it just easier if I plug into your laptop?
so the Rat brought us a liquid cloud sourced hazy juicy IPA from Two Roads out of Stratford. Get lost in the clouds on the road less traveled.
It was purchased by chance, but I guess this was somewhat an interest of Kyle's-ish.
Well, I don't think Kyle was interested in it as much. I don't think he it was on his radar, but I had seen it and I thought it'd be something up his alley.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Mox too. Massey's kind of hit and miss with the IPAs. I feel like he's not as big into the juice world for the IPAs. I feel like he's more of
I like what you did there,
Yeah.
boys.
I think he's more of a standard IPA guy. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So yeah, does anybody have any toasts of excellence? Go ahead, Mass.
NFL season starts on Thursday. I didn't think it would actually happen, but we're going to have football.
As long as it gets canceled by week 7, Mock and I are good.
Yeah.
My toast
In the
of
money.
excellence is to Michael Trout for hitting a
Junior.
Somebody snuck it in. Piss Kyle off real quick.
Any Hoosers.
That was a good movie. Not the any part.
All right, we done now? Yeah. All right. For hitting
Kyle!
For hitting his 300th home run, fastest, and now he's the all-time leader in Angels history in home runs.
That's not saying much.
No.
And he also hit 200 stolen bases.
They haven't been good since they had Angels in the outfield.
But congrats to Michael Trout, who probably would make the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he will. 100%.
I'd like to shout out Dustin Johnson. You know who that is, Kendall?
The golfer, right?
Yep. He won his first career FedEx Cup title today.
Won $15 million.
Yeah, well, congrats. It's an interesting pick, but congrats. Mine is sort of a homer to Todd Frazier rejoining the Mets where he belongs.
On the IR?
Actually, for the short span until today, the day of this recording, they were undefeated with him on the field. So
I just pulled a pricker out of my hair from the course today. Mock, I just pulled a pricker out of my hair from the course today.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a doozy. There might be more in here.
Hey, quick poll of the room.
Yep.
Tyreek Hill or George Kittle? First pick of the third round.
George Kittle.
Tyreek Hill.
We already have McCaffrey and Julio Jones.
Tyreek Hill. How many tight ends?
It's one tight end.
Tyreek
Kittle.
Hill. In the top of the third round, you can't let him. You can't pass up someone falling that far.
Well, figure we're not going to pick again till the end of the fourth round.
Yeah, but you can get a tight end. Tight ends are question marks all the time anyway, unless you have Kittle.
But Kittle's the only offense on that team.
Yeah, but every time someone says that about a team, it's always Hill was the only offense on the team 2 years ago. I mean,
Kelsey's been there.
but Kelsey wasn't a huge thing until 2 years ago.
Kendall?
I mean, I would say take a Charger, but
We
take
have
Hill.
one for Hill, one for Kittle. Who are you taking?
Hopkins is
take
also
Hill.
there.
Hopkins is also.
Take Hill. mean,
I
why
still
not?
take Hill.
Kittle?
Hill.
Oh, they said Kittle.
I still take Tyreek Hill over both of them.
If it were me
Does it
picking, I
change
would have picked
the-
Hill.
Does it change the vote that Julio Jones and Hill both have the same bye week?
Yes.
Get 'em
DeAndre
both.
Hopkins.
I don't know.
Decisions.
This is why you should have just let us make picks.
Paul?
Should have just let
Toast
us
of
make some
excellence?
picks. This one's kind of like a bullshit one, and I'm kind of homering it for the third straight week. Now, the season's not over, so a lot of things can change. But a shout out to White Sox first baseman Jose Abreu and shortstop Tim Anderson for coming down the stretch of this shortened MLB season and defending their titles the best way possible. Tim Anderson for batting average and Jose Abreu for RBIs by leading the league in them again.
That's
So,
cool.
I mean, well, for their leagues. Because I think Trey Turner's leading the league overall in average. I think he's batting like 353 or something like that. And Anderson's right behind him at 351. And then Abreu's leading the AL in RBIs. It'd be cool for them to do it back-to-back.
I agree.
I think what happened was, like, for the White Sox, I think a cool thing that happened for them this year is a lot of people, like, if you've been really into baseball as a whole, like, the hype around this White Sox team, like Kyle, for example, the hype around this White Sox team has been 2 years or so in the making, ever since they got, once they got Moncada from the Red Sox and Eloy from the Cubs, and then they got Robert, and, like, you knew they had a lot of firepower coming up. It was a question somewhat as to how good it was going to be, and now you're seeing it in the full swing. But a lot of people who aren't following baseball as a whole were really exposed to it when there was a game that was postponed. I forget what it was for, like, COVID reasons.
Mhm.
That was in the ESPN national slot on the TV. And the Cubs White Sox got slotted into it, and that was when the White Sox routed the Cubs, and it was a lot of Eloy, Luis Robert, those young guys really doing their thing.
Was it like a Sunday night baseball game, or
I don't think it was Sunday night. I think it could have been Sunday, but I don't remember. But anyway, they got slotted in because the other game was postponed for whatever reason, and so they were a national televised game, and I think that really got a lot of people watching.
excellent?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Those Texans.
I'm big on the White Sox. I've been big on the White Sox since the beginning of the year.
Crack 'em.
There we go. Give us a shot.
Ohio.
Also,
Ohio.
just a quick casual thing because I think it got lost in all the transition last week. Last week, Kyle had a Pipeworks beer that became his new favorite beer.
Yep.
Which has been a trend of tracking this on the show. Remember the name of it?
Yeah.
It was, what was it, unbranded beer name or something like that?
No.
Was it like unaffiliated sponsor or something?
It was something like that, like
Yeah.
unofficial beer sponsor.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Unofficial beer sponsor from Pipeworks. So that actually trumped the triple dipple. Triple dipple had a short run
Yeah.
in comparison to the
Well,
double
the thing
dipple.
was, it was just like it wasn't super like it was strong because it hit me on the way home, but like it tasted really.
I think it hit you when you started making bets
Yeah.
against your brother's ex.
Where did that end up, by the way?
He lost.
Kyle was
Okay.
wrong.
Yeah, we did that night.
Not on the show.
Sure. At least, Kyle, that you had, a stance and you stood with it. I have a quick sip of silence, if that's okay. Mets legend Tom Seaver passed away. So, especially like...
There was another player too.
Hall of Famer Lou Brock.
Yep. Thank you.
No, yep. So.
All right. So,
We're going round table here, or what? Potluck?
Well, has you have anything?
do you have the potluck prepared, Mass?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh,
we
wait.
also
We
we're
didn't
do-
have a shot.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, that's right. Do you want to just have some of this rye since you'll hate it?
Yeah, go ahead. We'll do that.
Why is this?
The Mets and the Phillies tied their 4-game series, so since neither lost, they both owe a shot.
Yeah, we were this close. Well, they were really close, and we were really close, and then they pulled it out at the end.
So,
The
the
Phillies
Phillies
and
have a 6-game series with the Marlins coming up. That's fun.
Kendall, I don't. Why don't you do this? Let's do this. Don't take the shot yet, Kyle.
Okay.
Because what we'll do is real quick before we get in the round table, while you guys discuss draft logistics, we're gonna do a spirit sample. We've been doing the spirit sample things. Last week was a break, so we're doing Rise at the request of the Rat this week. We only have 4 on deck, so I just didn't have a full stock of them. So we'll do 1 the first hour, we'll do 1 the second hour, or 2 the second hour, we'll do 1 the third hour. So the first one is that's why I didn't want you to do the shot yet. It's the same thing.
Oh, same thing.
That's why I didn't want you to do the shot yet, because I want you to
Gotcha.
get
Yeah,
the
yeah.
appreciation for it, type of thing. So, would you guys get on the nose?
On the nose.
Smoke.
Okay, you shouldn't really be getting a lot of smoke. Not on the Rise here.
A little sweet.
Yeah, you should get a lot of sweetness. You
I
should
don't-
pull a lot of vanilla out of this one.
Yeah, vanilla. And
I don't know.
What?
I get a lot of, I'm going to hate this
It
shit.
just made the funniest face.
Well, Kyle, you can chime in. Do you get a smell? Do you pull any sort of actual smell out of it, like a legitimate smell?
sorry.
You should get a lot of vanilla.
Get a lot of oak.
You should get oakiness out of this. No, but you should get oak
It was
out of
just
this.
funny the way like he said it.
You should also pull honeysuckle and marzipan out of this.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was my next
yeah,
What the
definitely.
fuck is marzipan?
It's a city in
All right,
South
so go
America.
ahead, take your sip. Not you.
What is marzipan? Is it like
It's
a
a flower.
marsupial?
Yeah, Kyle, it's a marsupial. It's like a koala.
Rebecca, you talk shit to me 5 or 6 more times tonight. I'm going to cut off that bun. I know, but I just wanted to say that.
Good line. Good
So
line.
what do you guys get on the palate?
Strong burn.
Okay.
It was not like I expected at all. I thought it was going to be like,
Rise have a much more aggressive. So you'll notice, like,
Sweet finish though.
especially while you're talking,
Is it dope
Rise
finish?
have that very strong alcohol component to it, almost
Yeah.
similar to like a red wine. You'll notice that the minute it hit your tongue and you started salivating.
yeah.
It really gripped all the glands in your mouth and really extracted the
Caught
moisture
some
out of your
tongue
mouth.
burn
Right.
on that too, for sure.
Did you pull any flavors out specifically?
I got sweetness. I don't know why I thought I tasted orange. I feel like I didn't, but I don't know. I don't know how to surprise
I like that. I think I take
Kyle, sit over there and
like
draft.
not.
Sit
You know
over
what
there
I'm
and shut
saying?
the fuck up.
Hey,
I think-
talk to me like that.
You should still
even
pull
though
some
I'm
vanilla out.
No, and I think honey as well.
Honey, you should still get oak on the finish. It should-
Citrus probably is more the flavor I thought.
like
I
an
put.
orange zest is what
Yeah.
you're looking for. Not orange, but orange zest.
Yeah.
There's and I'm not doing it to be an ass. There's a major difference when you're talking about an alcohol component, especially cocktails. But when you finish it, I know you finished yours already, Mass, and you have a little bit left, right?
Mhm.
So don't you take another one? I want you to finish it. Don't do your exhale thing though. Swallow, and let it kind of just fester on the back of your tongue. And you should pull out a lot of oak once the burn starts going away. It should pretty much be predominantly oak.
I get that.
Yeah,
I get
Okay.
that.
So this rye you had the Noble Oak Bourbon. This is the Noble Oak Double Oak Rye. So it's a rye that's been aged twice in different oak barrels. And it was finished with port oak staves, which is where you're going to pull a lot of that sweetness from. That marzipan will come from that. Also would have been acceptable to get that date raisin type of thing, that dried fruit.
What does that mean? But oak stain? Is that what you said?
Staves.
Oh, okay. Staves.
Yeah, staves of a
Like
barrel.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So, port is a barrel-finished wine, very high in alcohol content, usually has a very raisin, dried fruit flavor to it. So that's why you pull out a lot of that.
That was good. Initially, on my first sip, I was like, "Ooh, I don't know if I like this," but after the second sip, I was like, "Yeah, I get it."
All right, and
I'm
now Kyle and Kendall, you guys can just go ahead and swash the second one right down.
Here.
You know what's going to suck? When I have to take out my snuff because of this.
Why, you don't know how to drink without letting something hit you? Did you like it, Kyle?
No, but like it didn't burn as much as I thought.
Oh. All right. And now you have a little snus cup.
You're a good guy over there.
Nice.
I'm going to give you a high five in like an hour.
All right, you're going to forget.
No.
So, all right, so we've been doing the potluck thing while you guys were gone because you guys have been missing generally the first hour with your softball shenanigans.
First 2 hours.
So, Kyle prepared for the second hour. Kyle did prepare the first of a kind of like a mini series we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Him and I are gonna bounce back and forth with it. So he's gonna do one this week. I'll do one in a couple weeks, and then when we're done, we're gonna finish it out. So you guys, I'm letting you guys know this now. Do some paying attention. I know it's not your sport of preference. Do some paying attention, because at the end of this, once we really approach the date, we're gonna do everyone's gonna do their own full one round NBA mock draft. And I'm not saying you can't just do it by looking up stuff, but you hear discussions
So,
today.
quick thing.
Kyle's much more versed in. Well, you know what? We'll get into it further when we do hour 2. So let's just do the potluck. We'll talk more about it when we get into hour 2. We're taking away from our potluck time. So Mass, take it away.
Favorite quote from the week? Andy Reid, when presented with his Super Bowl ring, talking to the reporters,
Hot dogs.
stated that you wear it for special occasions or if you want a free cheeseburger.
Clove.
I think he's really leaning into the I'm fat thing.
Always
Yeah,
has.
definitely owning
I've
up.
been doing that since I was
Who was the
born.
guy from the Browns that every time he yelled, his stomach would rise?
I know exactly what you're talking about. He's got the white mustache.
Yeah, every time he would you see the videos of him, he yells and his stomach comes up.
I can't. I don't know his name. Who?
Romeo Cornell?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Might be him.
No, it's not.
It's not him. We'll all know the name the minute it's said.
He's either a defensive line
Greg
coach
Williams?
or no.
Just go to the potluck. Kind of look it up
Right.
if you can.
I can't.
Freddie Freeman hit his first ever grand slam 2 days ago. So that was something that happened.
It's interesting. He
He's really
played
good.
First one?
Yeah.
It said he played an entire decade before hitting one.
And then he hit 2 in a week.
Dude, I fucking hate that guy, but I respect the shit out of him.
Well, here we go.
I feel like that's the route Kyle has to start going now. That ever since Harper became a Philly, I hate him, but I respect him.
But he's
It
been such a
leaves
pain
room
in
for
the
love.
ass in the NL East.
What's his name?
Let's see here. I thought I was going to get a better. I like this guy.
What was the Google search?
Fat Browns coach.
Oh, it was O-line coach. Yeah, every time. Oh, can you play the video? Real quick, just play the video.
Bob Wiley.
Just look at his stomach every time he says so great.
He's got a great mustache too.
I know, but look at this. Every time he says hut.
Is it hut?
So great. Oh, I did have one other toast of excellence just because it was such a dad joke, but it tickled me the right way. I saw it today. It's to Rebecca's dad, the guy who makes the music for our intro.
Mhm.
And the voice you hear when you say "now welcome back." If they hear that, I don't even know if they hear that anymore. Dave Sanderson, but they posted a thing where it was if I forget what I gotta find it. Shit, I lost it now. They're really ruining it. Hold on, give me 5 seconds. I gotta scrummage through all the Jesus posts. Oh, here we go.
Dave Sanderson, big fan of the show, so thank you, Dave.
Did not know that was him on the recording.
Yeah.
Oh, with your bank account right now, where can you travel to? And he put the bathroom, and it just made me laugh. It just got me so good.
Kendall almost just spit take over the board.
I can picture him saying it.
So, about Freddie Freeman, you can deal with this. You can agree with this. If he were ever to become a Philly, I'd cry. I'd be so happy. Dude, the guy never fucking strikes out.
No, it's one of those things. I don't shit on it. The Harper thing we shit on you for because you have been on air
I know.
saying how much you hate Harper and blah blah blah. But everybody has somebody some division rival for at least one or two sports where you'd be like, yeah.
Not only
Come to me.
Not only saying he hates her, that he's not good.
Right, exactly. But I'm saying, but everybody has that person.
Listen, man.
I don't know
We're
who
dark
Mox
man.
would be for football. I don't know, maybe I don't know if Amari Cooper. I don't know if you hate Amari Cooper, but
I was cool with Amari Cooper till he really boned me in fantasy a couple years ago.
Deshaun Jackson.
No, never.
no,
Oh, God,
never for Mock.
The
No.
cut is far too deep on that one.
Deshaun Jackson is the only person in the NFL that Mock actually really does hate with a burning
I
passion.
hate him so much.
He's great at celebrating Christmas though.
Oh,
No, never mind, because you have Barkley. Never mind.
But I would welcome I would welcome Matt Stafford. I would have welcomed Adrian Peterson. I mean, It happened to me literally. I mean, how many times did we talk about it before? There's
Yeah,
nothing.
that's fun. That leads into another thing.
There's nothing I'd love more than Jared Allen, and we got him.
Yeah,
Even
that
if
was
it was
cool.
for a short time, and he wasn't super impactful, but
Now the Packers are the only NFC North team to not have an Adrian Peterson play for them.
yeah. But there's still 3 NFC North teams that didn't have the real Adrian Peterson
true.
playing for them.
Listen, you got to get that jersey because that'd be just so funny. Like, he didn't play for the Bears. Like, nah, he did it, and he was better.
I actually have a dual rookie card of the real Adrian Peterson and Jermaine Dye. It's great, love it.
I thought you were going to tell me.
Oh no, it's Mark Burley. Sorry, what?
I thought you were talking about the when you got the Adrian Peterson, the Bears Adrian Peterson. It's so high because people mistake it for being.
Oh yeah. No, the Bears Adrian Peterson cards are worth a lot of money because people like the hard to get ones, not like the regular tops one, but like some of the rookie cards and shit because they're so hard. Everyone confuses it. All right,
Quick
Matt,
score
finish.
update. Raptors are down 24 to the Boston Celtics.
Is the series tied 2-2?
Celtics are gonna. I personally think the Celtics are winning the championship.
So, I mean, they're going to win this series. It just makes me sad. Steve Nash signed a 4-year contract to become the head coach of the Nets. Really expected more out of Kyle for that, but looks like he's busy drafting.
No, say it again. I'm sorry.
Steve Nash signed a 4-year contract to become the head coach
I
of the
fucking
Nets.
love it.
Yeah, Stephen A. Smith, shut up. Take that.
Tweet at him right now.
Somebody posted this thing.
He'll respond.
This ex NBA player said something about it. How he posted this list of like 15 African American head coaches that have all had head coaching experience, and he was like, all these available African American head coaches, and they choose a head coach that has no experience, whatever. And someone posted on it, it's like, with the exception of Tyronn Lue, these guys have a career winning percentage of below 30. There's a reason they're all available, and it was just so funny. But it was, I mean, here's the thing: the NBA is one of those places where the stakes aren't the same for all the sports like football. In football, it's the stakes are much higher year in and year out, season by season. Whereas in the NBA, there's more wiggle room and there's more room for experimentation. And Steve Nash is one of those players, like Jason Kidd, that his IQ for the sport exceeds his talent tenfold. And Steve Nash is one talented-ass basketball player. Now, it doesn't always equate to head coaching. We saw it with Isaiah Thomas. It doesn't always equate to the head coaching position. So we don't know. We don't know. But if you're going to take a gamble on an ex-player, who better than a back-to-back MVP point guard? Somebody that not only exceeded in a league that had Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, Tracy McGrady, all these other stud superstars, but on top of it was a point guard, somebody that legitimately led a team. And in his time in Phoenix, led a team of superstars. I mean, that team was stacked with all-stars.
My take on it is that I personally believe the Nets were looking for a coach that is a fast-paced coach. And by that, what I mean is that it's called in the NBA a 7 seconds or less. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
They go up, they score. There's no in between. So I think that Steve Nash, imperfect. You got Kyrie Irving, you got Kevin Durant. You got two of the best players in the NBA. Okay? One, Steve Nash's job is already easy. He's got Steve Nash. Sorry.
He's got himself.
He's got Kyrie Irving and he's got Kevin Durant. Okay?
But that's what I'm saying. That's where I like the Steve Nash pick, because you talk about Steve Nash came in. Steve Nash captained and led a team of egos. Of Amari Stoudemire, Sean Marion, Leandro Barbosa. I mean, these are all guys that... Well, I'm just saying...
Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're not. They were all guys that were doing very well. I mean, Leandro Barbosa was not by any means a household name, really. But he was somebody that was making a name for himself on that Phoenix Suns team and went on to be able to win an NBA championship with Golden State. And all those players... So you're bringing in somebody like Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, both have egos, but love to play with each other. So you're bringing in somebody that's going to create that family type of team.
Also, you got to remember, he played with probably one of the biggest egos of all time. And I hate it. I hate to say it, but Kobe Bryant. We all love him, but he's probably one of the biggest egos of all time. Kyrie Irving is one of the biggest egos in the NBA right now. Kevin Durant doesn't really have much of a personality, but he's one of the best players that we've ever seen.
Yeah.
So, I personally think he knows how to control those players, and I think they will listen to him because it's Steve Nash. Like he's a Hall of Famer. He never won a ring, but he knows how to get the job done.
There was another thing I saw that they kind of like talked with Durant about it, and he kind of pushed him in that direction to like go get Nash. So I think he kind of had the hand in it too, because wasn't Nash like an advisor or something with the Warriors or something?
Yeah, he was doing something with Golden State. But well, like all in all, I think he's the perfect fit for that team.
You know, it's just a comment, and you know, in the room here, we play a lot of sports video games where we'll simulate like careers, and basketball's one we would do a lot. And Steve Nash would always kind of find his way like head coaching, like a Nets or a team that's kind of in between.
It's really funny that you say that because I was actually thinking about that for next week. I was thinking about bringing in my PlayStation and hooking it up to the TV and doing a simulation throughout the show.
Yeah, we can
of
do
a
that.
career for like, because we can even do it for Madden, because I mean it takes forever to simulate the seasons, but
You got 3 hours.
we get 3 hours. We can just keep doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think it'd be interesting to do just for fun.
Also, like, I'm sorry, Max. Go ahead. You have other things.
No, keep going.
Well, I was
Discussion
going to
was
bring up a
good.
whole different topic about NBA.
He was just going to bring up that
Well,
he has an
just
Ash jersey
keep
that he
going with
can't
the potluck.
find.
We're gonna keep going with the potluck, and then what we'll do is write it down. You have a paper over there, right? Just make a note. And hour 3 is gonna be pretty open.
Okay.
So
Mookie Betts has more home runs than the Red Sox have wins currently. So I thought that was a fun little statistic.
I didn't know that.
The Red Sox were never going to do anything regardless this year.
It's still funny.
I get it, but like
On the same subject, LeBron James has more career points in the playoffs than the Grizzlies franchise does, which is also very funny.
that can't be true.
What was the
LeBron
stat?
James has more points scored individually in his career for the playoffs than the Grizzlies have as an entire franchise.
He has 7,048
you
career
mean just
points
like in the playoffs or
in the playoffs.
Oh, in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could you imagine
Well,
the
yeah.
entire existence of the Grizzlies?
Okay, I was like, "There's no fucking way."
but
The Grizzlies have 7,045. LeBron had 7,048.
Wow.
my opinion on that, not on the Red Sox and not the NBA thing, because I can give two shits about that.
It was just on the same line.
No, I get it. Going into this season, I don't think the Red Sox had any thought of winning this year.
No.
They had no starters, for one. Their number one was Nathan Eovaldi. If you don't know who that is the king of being able to throw a gem or getting rocked and no in between.
Sale's out this whole year?
What?
Is Sale out this
Yeah,
year?
Tommy John.
That's what I thought.
We've seen it time and time again. That guy will either throw 8 innings or 2. He sucks. But then they have a bunch of 4s. Like, you're not going to win. And, like, yeah, they're all... We've talked about it before. The Red Sox paid the wrong guy. There is no reason why they didn't pay Mookie Betts over Xander Bogaerts and Rafael Devers. I'm sorry.
Well, Devers hasn't gotten paid yet.
I thought he did.
I don't think so. I don't think Devers has gotten paid yet. Bogarts,
I'm looking it up, Kyle.
it's one of those things where, I mean, you know as well, the shortstop position is very sought after. And I mean, the shortstop typically is like the quarterback of the infield. You know, that's usually like your centerpiece player.
Go ahead. But for me, the shortstop, and I disagree with this a lot in baseball. Kyle and I have talked about it a lot with the Phillies choosing to get rid of Franco. The shortstop position is the only position in baseball besides the catcher. The catcher but this is always going to be the thing for the catcher because of the nature of his position. But when you talk about the four infielders and your 3 outfielders, the shortstop is the only position in the MLB that still has like defensive weight over the offensive capabilities. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, the majority of shortstops still rake offensively. Tim Anderson, we just talked about it in the Toast of Excellence, is looking for back-to-back batting titles. Mm-hmm. Javier Baez rakes all the time. Mondesi, all these guys, they absolutely are studs in the offensive positions. Carrera, right? Is Carrera the shortstop? Yeah. I mean, all these guys, they still rake. But you would be willing to sacrifice having an elite defensive shortstop and have him be an 8-hitter.
Jose Iglesias.
Right. I mean, look at the play that Jose Iglesias had
Just the other night.
Just the other night to prevent his team from losing in extras. I mean, he was playing the second base bag on a shift and came all the way over to first base in almost essentially a diving type play to cut off a relay to throw to home because the rest of the defense positioned themselves wrongly on the relay. I mean, those types of things are irreplaceable. Now the catcher, but how many times do we see those? I mean, look at the White Sox. The White Sox are a perfect example, right, Kyle? Eloy Jimenez is an absolute liability in left field. He absolutely is. Kyle, am I wrong?
Nope.
He is an absolute liability in left field. But the guy in his 2 years in the majors is fucking raking. So, what do we want more? Somebody that has the ability to hit a home run every time, or someone that's going to make some mistakes?
Find a place for him in the lineup.
All right, go ahead, Mass. Sorry.
That's all right. As of last night, currently not expecting Giannis to return to the lineup for Game 6.
In my opinion, the Milwaukee Bucks started the playoffs as the "we've got this" team. Like we're the team it's gonna be us in Boston. We're worrying about Boston. That's the way they've been playing. And Miami, at the end of the day, Jimmy Butler is no joke. Jimmy Butler is an all-star, and he is arguably the second best two-way player in basketball.
Milwaukee was the team that came in, we got this. Miami was the team that came in having nothing to lose.
That's not, well,
It's not even that, though. It's just that, like, Kendall says it all the time. If you play like you're happy to be there, you'll lose.
Yep.
And that's what the Bucks were playing like rounds 1 and 2. We're happy to be there. And that's what they're playing like right now. And they're down 3-1. Chris Middleton saved them. Chris Middleton played out of his mind
He did.
in Game 5.
It was
Or Game
awesome.
4. He played out of his mind. But the Bucks have their backs against the wall, and they have 3 straight win-or-go-home games. And I don't see Miami giving up 3 straight games. I just don't.
Not
They have a
unless-
lot of good defensive players, and Jimmy Butler rises and elevates to that potential. And we're seeing Jimmy Butler in the Heat uniform do the thing that everyone expected him to do in Philly and in Minnesota, which he hasn't done since Chicago. And that's because Jimmy Butler, even though he isn't a Kevin Durant, even though he isn't a Kawhi Leonard, Jimmy Butler needs to be the individual superstar on a team. He has to be the superstar on the team. And that's not what he was in Philly, and that's not what that's not what Thibodeau had in mind for that Timberwolves team. When he thrives as the individual star, the rest of the players elevate their game to a place we've never even seen. Look at Bam Adebayo alone this year, how much he's improved. Because Jimmy Butler is a good team leader. He's a mental case, don't get me wrong, but he is a team leader. And he will lead a locker room into war and make them feel like they are absolutely unbeatable. And if they manage to beat Milwaukee in Game 5 and take it 4-1, I absolutely believe they'll take down the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. But I think they have to do it in Game 5, because if they lose 2 and then win, their momentum, I think, is taken out of the sails.
I think the Heat are better coached than the Bucks.
No, and that goes into it. You're right. And not having Antetokounmpo plays into it as well. But they had Antetokounmpo games 1 and 2. The Heat are a hungrier team.
He was a liability those games too, wasn't he?
But they're a hungrier team. Jimmy Butler is out there trying to prove everything to the world. Is Jimmy Butler in anybody's top 5 player of all, or not all time, but current in the NBA?
No.
No. He might be top 5 defensively, but overall defensively, if you encompass all defensive aspects, interior and exterior,
He's not the top 5 I would name.
He's a top 5 perimeter defender.
Yeah.
He's second.
I like your overall that you were saying.
Right, but if you go into overall, he's probably not top 5. He's never in MVP discussion, nor should he be. I'm not saying he should be, but he's never in MVP discussion.
He'll never shoot the greatest? Never?
No, he'll never be the greatest at anything, but he will always give you second best. And I'm sorry, but in my opinion, I would rather have somebody who's going to be second best at 10 things than somebody who's going to be first best at 4 and below 10 at the other 6.
Yeah, it makes you a more rounded player.
You look at it all the time. I think it was Michael Phelps who said it. He goes, Michael Phelps said it all the time. He's like, I'm never the best at any category in any swim I've ever done in the Olympics, but I'm always second best in everything I do, which is why he wins so much.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Jimmy Butler is trying to prove. And now that he's the superstar on a team again, a much more talented team than he had in Chicago, I think the Heat can make a serious fucking run at this. And I think if it comes down to Heat Lakers, I will give it to the Heat, because Eric Spoelstra has been there before, and he'll get it done.
Is there any team that you don't have the Heat beating?
I think the Celtics can give them a run for their money. If the Heat lose multiple games to the Bucks in a row, which they have to lose them in a row, I think it'll take because the Celtics can grind out a 7-game series.
Yeah.
The Celtics can score the ball from a lot of different places.
What about from the other side?
The only
Lakers,
thing that
Rockets.
The only thing that the Celtics don't have over the Heat into center position.
Yeah, nobody's going to slow down Bam.
But you also got to remember, Kendrick Nunn, guard Kemba. Jimmy can cover Jaylen Brown. That's easy.
But Jimmy won't, and
he'll
Jimmy
guard Jason Tatum,
and he'll lock up Jason Tatum. Because Jason Tatum, you have to remember this too. In their playoffs, Jason Tatum has never seen a Jimmy Butler, Kyle.
No, I know.
For 7 games or however many games it goes, he's never seen him. And this is where this is where we're gonna see Jason Tatum show his colors for the rest of his career. I'm not saying Jason Tatum has to go out and average 30 points a game, but if Jason Tatum can go out in a 7-game series and average 22 points a game being guarded by Butler the majority of the time, Jason Tatum is going to be a superstar and an absolute stud for the rest of his career.
Think anybody from the West can compete with them?
Lakers can easily compete with them.
Yeah, the Lakers have more star power than any team in the
But
NBA.
do I think the Lakers are all around better? No, I don't think it's close.
What about anybody else? Rockets, Clippers, Nuggets?
No, Rockets will get fucking shit on. I still think the Rockets suck.
Well, I think it's funny though. This is we'll use this as a potluck thing. I don't know if you have it down, but Draymond Green actually brought up a smart point for the first time in his life. He said it, and it's
Test of
actually
excellence,
true.
Draymond Green.
Kyle and I were talking about it. Draymond Green put out a tweet, and he said, "If your name's not Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic, or Karl Anthony Towns, you should." And so this was the way he worded it. It's geared towards the NBA players, not the fans. If your name is not Nikola Jokic, if your name is not Karl Anthony Towns or Joel Embiid, you should not be rooting for the Rockets. Because if the Rockets can dethrone LeBron James and Anthony Davis and take them down with their center being a max height of 6'7", you are absolutely demoralizing the center position farther than it's ever been. And those 3 guys are the exception because those 3 guys are absolutely untouchable. They're centers because of their height, not because of their skill. I mean, Nikola Jokic can run a team. He could be a point guard. But you didn't get him a beer mask? You asked him if you wanted a beer, and
I
you
said,
didn't
yeah.
get him a beer?
I whispered Bush to you.
I'll take one too, Mass.
Yeah, me too.
He's left, so I don't know. But I think Draymond Green's got a point. I mean, you look at a lot of these, like Clint Capella's, even Bam Adebayo's, a lot of these players, they're going to become a lot more expendable. There's only one center he left out, Kyle, and you can argue with me on this if you want. There's only one center he left out that I think is defensible in the situation, and it's Steven Adams. And the only reason is because Steven Adams isn't a superstar like those guys, but Steven Adams is arguably plays with more heart than anybody else on the court at any given time. What do you think, Kyle?
I think Steven Adams.
I think he's an exception to that.
Yeah, well, he's not a scorer.
No, but Steven Adams.
That's why I think he's an exception.
But Steven Adams is somebody that can go out against those 3 guys and give them fits.
Mm-hmm.
Steven Adams is going to play with heart. He's going to out-muscle for rebounds, and he's a team player.
Man, I want the Thunder to win that series so bad.
I just want Steven Adams to be a Bull. I just want his jersey. All right.
Just get like a custom one made.
No.
And just argue with people like, he played there, remember?
My name is Adams.
Adrian Peterson is signed with the Detroit Lions after being waived by the Washington Redskins. I'm sorry, the Washington football team.
Dumb move by Washington.
Yeah, I don't know what
Real
they stand.
strange, but I mean,
What do they stand to gain by doing that?
They want to give all the snaps to the rookie.
I understand, but it's the
I'm sorry, you took one of the best running backs of our generation out of your
of all
film
time
room.
of all
Yeah.
time.
But I mean, out of your film room, out of your practice, that like
It's a good guy to have. I'll tell you that.
When I think that's why the line did that, because they have 2 very
Because they haven't had a good running back since the 80s.
they have 2 very young running backs. And
No,
like,
I know why the Lions did it. I just think it's a dumb move by Washington.
Yeah.
I think it's a very dumb move by Washington.
you
but
you
while
don't
we're
fit
on-
Ron,
Go ahead.
I don't want to say it, but he doesn't fit how Ron Rivera uses his running back.
No, I understand. But while we're on the subject, I think a round of applause is very much necessary for Alex Smith making the 53-man roster.
Yes. Through hell and back.
I understand if you whether you have the idea that he doesn't ever play a snap again, or he does. I mean, what he came back from. I mean, we've seen a lot of these injuries. I mean, look at Zach Miller and Ryan Shazier, those types of. I mean, Alex Smith took an injury just as gruesome that could have taken him out for his career, and he made the comeback.
He almost died from it.
Right, he almost lost his leg. He almost died. I mean, the fact that he's not even played practice squad football, but made an NFL roster again. And I got to tell you, I think that that's the absolute most awesome move the Washington football team could have done. Is give Dwayne Haskins Alex Smith's absolute undying attention at quarterback position, even if he doesn't play a snap. It is the most valuable thing they could have done for their football team. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, we can all agree, and any football fan can agree, Alex Smith will not be the guy that you're going to go down and say won you your football game, but he will never be the guy that loses you your football game.
Never.
He might win a couple for you, but he'll never lose one for you. And I'm sorry, but Dwayne Haskins is looking more like he got a little better as the season went on, but he's looking like he's going to kind of have that Jameis factor to him. He's going to throw a lot of passes, and he's going to have a lot of picks because of it. He might throw 45 touchdowns, but it's going to be on the receiving end of 35 picks. And Alex Smith, I mean, fuck. Come on. That guy goes in there and shows Dwayne Haskins how to limit those picks by 20 and keep the touchdowns where they are. You're talking about Washington being a legitimate contender in 3 years.
You also saw that Haskins was getting better as the year went on.
That's what I'm saying. I said that. But it's like, Alex Smith, I mean,
you got one of the best teachers in the game.
Quarterback in our generation at game management.
Yeah.
At reading defenses and making sure that nothing wrong is going to happen on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, it's like, take a sack when you have to. Don't force throws. He's the best at it.
In my opinion, Alex Smith is the only quarterback that we've seen where when he throws an interception, more times than not, people are going like, that was a good play by the defense.
Yeah.
I mean, you see that with you see all the time, like Aaron Rodgers. When Aaron Rodgers throws a pick, it's almost always because the offensive player tipped the ball or something like that. But that never happened to Alex Smith. If he got picked off, it's because that defensive back took a risky jump and got good. He made a good move. He made the right decision. It wasn't on Alex Smith.
He never careless with the football in his hands.
Is Ron Rivera there or no?
Right now, he's back?
Yeah.
Okay.
He may leave again, but he's back.
With Ron Rivera there at the moment, I think he kind of did everything right.
Except for Peterson.
I understand, Peterson was probably their best running back, but we can all agree that, he doesn't fit his scheme, right?
How much money did it save him? Does anyone know offhand?
I don't think he was making much.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, I have no idea. I had to imagine it was a smaller contract, but
here's the thing, though: it doesn't matter if he fits the scheme or not.
No, I get it. That's what I said. I don't like it, but that's why he probably did it.
No, and I understand that, but it's still a bad move. Even if he doesn't fit the scheme at all, there is one other person. I'll look through their roster. I can guarantee you I can name 10 players on their roster that were worthy of being cut before him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But with Ron Rivera there, I think Washington has an idea where to go.
I hope so,
because kept Alex Smith for a reason.
That's a team that's been snake bitten, and I don't think anyone in the room really hates Washington. They're a team that really hasn't had much success.
They're kind of like the Browns.
Kind of.
Washington saved $2.5 million in cap space.
So nothing. They saved nothing.
Yeah, so they could buy a couple more snow cone machines.
Okay, off topic. We signed Britton Colquitt.
Do you know how many
nice.
snow cones machines you could buy with $2.5 million?
Yeah, you could probably buy 1 million of them.
Well, it depends what kind of snow cone machines we're talking about. You're talking about snow cone machines that are like at
the
carnivals?
SpongeBob SquarePants one.
Square punts?
Yeah, sorry. That's my fantasy football team name.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
All right, let me do a little bit of math, I'll tell you.
All right.
I'm not worried about it.
Oh, we need to know. These are the questions our fans need to know.
Right. This kind of coincides. Remember we talked about the trade for the printer? We found out the printer was still around.
You would be able to buy 73,529.41 snow cone machines.
I mean, to Dippin' Dots might be worth it.
Well, you got to factor out the decimal because of tax, Kyle. Come on.
I get it.
This is America. Uncle Sam's got to get his.
It's also the only country that has credit.
That's not true.
I think it is.
You think we're the only country that has credit?
Yeah, look it up.
My favorite thing in the world is the meme that cycles every once in a while, where it's
I'll take a shot.
somebody's like watching the news or whatever, and it's like, and the United States are $11.7 trillion in debt to China, and the person's like, "What do you mean we?
Yeah.
I don't owe China shit."
Kyle, can you define what you mean by credit?
My credit score.
Kyle is right.
We're the only country in the world that has a credit score.
So, America's credit scores don't count for anything overseas. Does that count?
I gotta be honest. I understand what we're talking about, but I'm lost.
Do other countries just have a credit score?
All right, hold on. Let me
Look, all I can tell you is that no matter where I go in this world, I can't get along.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all that matters to me.
So, they don't have credit scores, but they have credit bureaus that do different things. But technically, America is the only one with a credit score.
Are you gonna?
So I think-
what are they called? Credit points.
To settle this, you guys both owe a shot.
I'll take one. Paul, pick me up.
More rye
Cam
for
Akers went in
souls.
the 8th round.
I will take a shot if somebody can accurately guess, not Paul because he's looking.
I can't see what you're... You kidding me? My eyes are shot from playing Madden in
What?
Kyle's room for so
You
long.
guys just please just pour it for me.
Hold on.
What are the most interceptions Alex Smith has
Yeah.
ever thrown in a season in his career?
Knocker, got you. Here. Catch. What's up?
All right. I'm gonna go with
12.
14.
I was gonna say 9.
What'd you say?
12.
Most thrown in the season? It's
know.
going to be high, I know.
I feel like one season in his younger days, he has a high.
6.
16. 16 is second year in the league.
So I'm closest because I got the 6 part right.
That's right. That's right.
What'd you say?
14.
He's thrown.
Kendall's second closest because he got a teen.
He threw.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you said 12.
Do you want me to put the
He
12
threw-
teen.
Do you want me to put the cork back in this?
He
Yeah, I
threw.
definitely want you to play with it, though. Because I'm going to need that at some point.
He
in my
threw over
career.
10. He threw 10 or more 4 times in his career. All were within his first 5 years in the league. After that, it didn't go higher than 8.
Wow. Good for him.
Can you guess what the most touchdowns he ever threw in a season were?
24.
6. No,
I'm gonna go with 17.
23.
24.
What was the question?
Most touchdowns Alex Smith's thrown in a season.
31.
26.
Oh, that's a lot more actually than I expected.
2017 in Kansas City.
I was like, 'cause I remember he had like that MVP type season, then he got hurt.
I was gonna say. I thought he was gonna say in Waterbury. I'm like, whoa.
He was a Waterbury Raider for half a year.
He tore it up.
The Meriden Raiders.
But that just goes to show, Alex Smith is consistent. This was going to be my shot of excellence if I got yelled at for the football starting thing.
Toast of excellence?
Yeah.
You can take a shot of excellence, though.
Philadelphia signed Josh McCown to its practice squad, making him the oldest practice squad player in NFL history. He will live in Texas, watching the game on TV, and make $12,000 a week.
Yeah, good for
Oh,
him.
the McCown thing, yeah.
Which
He's
is
just
fucking
emergency
awesome.
quarterback.
Yep.
Good for him.
It's very
Yeah,
Matt
but you know
Stairs
what?
of him.
Philly needs it.
Oh, yeah. Imagine he's going to be sitting home. He's going to crack open a beer.
And make $12,000.
Josh!
Get that call. We need you tomorrow.
Tampa Bay signed Josh Rosen after the Dolphins cut him.
Great, great, perfect.
For
I think
who?
it's perfect for Josh Rosen.
Okay. He ends up with Tom Brady like everybody thought he would like 2
Yep.
years ago.
It doesn't matter
In
who
the
he ended up
prophecy.
with. That's the point is not Brady. The point is that guy has gotten shafted. His NFL career is a shaft. It's not his fault. It had nothing to do with his career going the way it's going. And that guy is going to end up selling hot dogs out of a cart at 32 years old, and it's not going to be his fault. That's the problem.
Yeah, I agree. I think
Tell him to go
he's had
play
a
in the
real
CFL.
rough start, and totally not his fault.
No, it's not. He shouldn't have to go play in the CFL. It's not his fault. He had a shitty job. He had a shitty fucking general management in fucking Arizona. Then he got sent off to a shitty general management in Miami. It was a bunch of bogus bullshit. I hope that guy starts in the NFL at one point and leads a team to the playoffs. He deserves it after the shit he's dealt with.
Patriots released Mohamed Sanu, making that the worst use of a second-round pick that I can think of.
Well, he's going to be a starting quarterback for some team.
Why is it a waste of a second round pick?
Because the Patriots traded a second-round pick for Mohamed Sanu just to cut him.
Well, They didn't trade it and then cut him. They got him. They used him.
But he didn't do anything last year.
I like how Mass tries to make his point and then just move on before you can say anything else. It's like, fuck you guys.
Jaguars released Leonard Fournette. Released Leonard Fournette. Signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yep, it's about enough of that accent.
Yeah.
Who cares?
We'll start for them.
No, he won't. No, he won't. He already came out. Aaron's already came out and said Ronald Jones is their guy. This is not going to be the starter. He might eventually, but he's not their starter.
Clowney signed with the Tennessee Titans after firing his agent for the third time.
Which was kind of off my radar. I knew that, there was potential for him to go anywhere, but I don't know, I just didn't envision him going there, I guess.
No. It's between them and the Saints, and I guess he ended up choosing the Titans.
Well, because what's-his-face there and his mustache, too big of a personality.
Yeah. I don't know who the fuck you're talking about, because Sean Payton doesn't have a mustache.
No. Help me out.
Rob Ryan?
No. Defensive end. Or
Cameron Jordan?
Yeah, Cameron Jordan, yeah.
What mustache does he have?
Remember he had he was, bitching about Minshew having a mustache, and he had the twisted end. You guys remember that?
No.
I guess that's my point. How unimpressive the mustache was.
Okay. Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah, fuck
Jesus
that guy.
Christ, it's going to be a long night. Deshaun Watson signed a 4-year deal with the Texans. Averages $39 million a year, gets a $27 million signing bonus.
Which means my fantasy team is shot.
He's tied to the Texans for 6 years. In other news regarding trade or deals signed, God, I should just stop talking for the rest of the show.
That means that the Texans agreed to have 6 years of an injured quarterback.
Yep. Bills gave Tre'Davious White a 4-year, $70 million contract extension, including $55 million guaranteed.
Worth every penny.
Yep. 25 years old, so 25 plus another 4 years, 29. He'll hit the market again.
Who's that, Watson?
Tre'Davious White.
Oh, sorry.
Let's see.
It's one of those, corners, we see it a lot where it's almost like a running back. You get one shot at that big deal. Mm-hmm. He's lucky enough to where, he'll hit free agency again at 29, so maybe he'll get a second good deal.
Did you just fucking snort cocaine over there?
I did. No.
Quick line.
Some nasal issues.
But the same with Watson. I think it was a smart deal on his end that he'll hit free agency under 30 and cash in again.
Yep.
Yeah.
This one will make Paul happy. Joe Mixon signed a 4-year, $48 million deal with the Cincinnati Bengals.
Good for him. No, good for the team, bad for him.
Why bad for him?
Because he's a Bengal.
I
if they can figure it out, great. But for right now, he had at least 2 years of them sucking.
Yeah, but again, offensively, the team isn't bad.
You don't know that yet. They haven't taken
No, but even last year, offensively, they weren't bad. Tyler Boyd had a good. Green was hurt, but Boyd had a good year. Ross was whatever.
They were bad mostly because they didn't have Dalton.
Yeah,
well,
and their defense was bad.
But the only problem is that their offensive line is still whack.
I think that
I think Joe Mixon is easily a top 10 running back.
That's what I think this year. I think Burrow puts them in a better chance than anyone did last year, other than Dalton. But
I do like Joe Mixon, even though he's a Bengal.
I respect him.
I don't respect him. I just think he's good.
I got you, Go.
I fucking hate Mark Ingram now.
Fair.
He was a Saint.
That's also a big thing why I hate him. Yeah, why him.
Ryan Fitzpatrick was named the starting quarterback for the Miami Dolphins.
We knew that was happening.
We saw that coming.
When are we going to play next?
That means Devontae Parker's going to have a fucking killer week, 3 weeks.
Week 4 through 7. It's going to be incredible.
No, he's good with Fitzpatrick. I don't know how too deep all it. I personally, I don't watch Bama games because I find them kind of fucking boring. But
how many college football games do you average during a year?
7.
7? Are you kidding me? Wow.
They're all Michigan State.
No, Penn State.
Oh, that's right. Michigan State.
Because they're on at noon and they end at 3, then I got to go to work.
I don't like it, but it's sound reasoning.
Cam Newton got officially named the starting quarterback. Everybody saw that one coming. Kirk Cousins is just fine with getting coronavirus, stating, "If I die, I die." Good for him.
So funny.
You know,
Derwin James.
down for the year.
Yep.
He's gonna be
Again.
Bummer.
Yeah, he's gonna be one of those guys that just can't stay healthy.
Yep. Anybody else have anything that I forgot?
No, I think you,
What time do we start?
Well, hold on.
like 15, I think.
Major shift in the baseball world. Yankees are on a slide.
Yep.
They're now down to the 6th seed. No, they're a wild card team now. They're behind Toronto. Phillies are now in second place. They're the 6th seed now, behind St. Louis. The fucking Padres, man.
I forgot. John Morant won Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, we knew that was that.
Still,
Hey,
I like
Zion
John.
got 1 vote though.
I want to know who voted for him.
Zion did.
Zion voted for himself.
Also, I did tweet at Stephen A. We'll see if we get a response.
What'd you tweet exactly?
All right, I'll read it. Let me pull it up here.
Is it from the account's Twitter or your Twitter?
Oh, the shows.
Oh, I'll say if it's from his Twitter, there should be some N
There
words in
just
there.
wasn't enough.
Just kidding.
sample
I'm just
size
kidding.
for Zion.
The captain / Sheen Washable does not support the use of derogatory slang.
Nor is he racist.
Is he a good guy, though?
That's just my opinion about it. With enough sample size. Like,
He hates
Kyle,
women, though.
Kyle is just continuing on like none of this
I
conversation
said,
is happening.
I said at Stephen A. Smith, time for you to shut your mouth. Steve Nash is best for the Brooklyn Nets.
Time for you to shut your mouth.
Like 4 days later.
I wish you said at Stephen A. Smith, at Michael Bennett.
Oh, you know what?
That's funny.
He's gonna edit the tweet.
No, I'll just add a comment. This goes for you too.
Then another comment at Kevin Nash.
I'll just put them both in there.
Oh, my
No,
God.
don't bring Kevin Nash into the show thing because we don't have a beef with him. Only you do. Save that for the private use of
Yeah,
your Twitter.
We kind of have your back with the Bennett thing because that was kind of stupid.
I almost tagged the wrong Michael Bennett. I should probably find out what his Twitter handle is first.
I am like perturbed that he got a bigger. Even though
All right,
Iverson's
all right,
there all
all
the
right.
time.
All right, hold on. Kyle, continue. Or are you done?
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Baseball. You said the Phillies jumped up, the Yankees slid.
Oh,
And then you mentioned the Padres.
yeah, they're just good offensively. Can't pitch. I don't know. Like it, I love that the way they're doing it this year, playoff wise. It's just it's going to go down to the last game, in my opinion. So like every game, like literally, like I know 60 games, every game matters, but in this scenario in the world, that the last couple weeks, every game does matter. The Marlins are right behind the Phillies, but there's a 6-game series.
Mm.
So if the Phillies scoring 5 out of 6, they take control of the second spot. Like if the Mets can get on a roll, they can jump the Marlins. You know?
Yeah.
Oakland, Houston can get in, which they probably will, but they're
Here's
not
co-
the same team.
Here's sort of an unfinished thought here, but what do you guys think is a bigger storyline? Astros really crapping the bed, or San Diego getting it done and
San
just
Diego.
making an appearance in the World Series?
I don't think the Astros shit in the bed.
Well, no,
They lost their number one.
it's
they
not.
lost like a true number one starter. So
No, it's not. It's not about like what will happen to them. But let's just say here's what will.
San Diego.
San Diego makes the World Series, or Astros just win a bomb out. Neither
San
thing
Diego.
will happen. But what's the? Do you think the Padres is the
no,
better
I don't,
storyline?
because the Padres were supposed to be good last year.
But I think it's less about the Padres and more about the Astro story not being super important.
And which is, I agree with you, but I disagree that it should be the problem.
So here's the thing with them losing Cole, with the whole cheating scandal coming out and them being under a lot more surveillance now, it doesn't shock me that they're going to take a fall off. Everybody saw what it was like when they were playing outside their stadium. I think Altuve was batting a 118 or something like that. The same thing could be said for Carrera. It's not a shock that they're going to fall off if they're not used to having the thing that made them good. I don't think it's a massive story if they take a step back.
I may have misunderstood the question.
No,
Because what he said, I agree with.
Right, and I guess what I
But
was
like
saying
also
was
San Diego, like everyone last year thought they were going to be good, but like Machado's actually hitting this year. Hosmer's hitting. Tatis is probably the NL MVP. They made all these trades. They got Clevenger. They should be in the playoffs. There's no way around it. They should be in the playoffs. So
Should bring Piazza back.
I can agree with that. But she still fits into.
Third
sign-
base coach.
Should sign Big Sexy.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I hope someone signs him.
I forgot to look up his numbers.
White Sox could use him. They need a 4 or 5 guy.
You know, I watched a video on YouTube the other day of his highlights.
His pro highlights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was only like 7 minutes long.
Hey, that's still pretty good.
Score update. Celtics beat the Raptors 111 to 89.
Ooh, yikes!
Yikes, indeed.
Fire
Happens all the
Nick
time.
Nurse.
Yep. I'm sorry. What the fuck did you just say?
He
Yeah, I
says,
said the coach's name. Know who it is.
"What are you going to do about it? Tweet at him."
Don't tweet it, nurse.
I extended that tweet to Michael Bennett. I hope he reads it and goes, what? What you talking about?
He's definitely going to think that the show is racist.
Like, this goes for you, too. Just preemptive, shut up.
Oh man.
Haven't started yet.
What?
Australia baseball.
Oh.
Talk about it, Kyle.
Oh, Manny Ramirez signed a
Just randomly.
Manny Ramirez signed a 1-year contract with an Australian team.
How old is he now?
48.
Oh wow.
They play
for
with
him.
the flat bats.
He's
Hey,
playing
no-
cricket.
You know what sounds like a good idea?
Taking a break.
Taking a break.
Hey, we can do that. Take a break and.
You gotta be quick though, because this might take a little bit. It
Okay.
depends on the discussion. There probably won't be any. But.
Hey, listen.
Well, the problem won't be this time, but we're going to
Yeah, I'm
do it every once in a while, and then so yeah, bye.
We'll see you in 5 minutes.
And now, back to Getting Sports with Drunk on the PPRN Radio Network.
Welcome back to Getting Sports with Drunk. I'm your host, Cupcake the Riddler, and I'm joined by Tards. So hour 2, and Souls is going to be gracing us with his first NBA mock draft. You did round 1, right?
Round 1.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do one in a couple weeks, and then you'll do another one. And then when's the draft? Did they declare that yet?
No, they haven't. It's gonna be sometime like late in like November, I think.
Yeah. So I'll do one, then Kyle and I will probably do one together, and then we'll do a group one kind of thing. We'll spread them out.
Ease into it.
Yeah, exactly. So Kyle's gonna start off with the mock draft for the 1.0 edition, and yeah, that's pretty much
Would you like to sample our?
Oh yeah. Right. Kyle already shot his down.
Yeah,
So
didn't mean to.
go ahead. Smell.
All
Yes, I smell vanilla in.
I got a similar sweetness, like a honey and vanilla on the nostrils. I'm having some nasal issues tonight.
Coriander.
Getting a little bit of floral on it, too.
She got a lot of oak.
I got no
Vanilla.
oak, I got balsam wood.
Baking spices. Fig.
The fuck's a fig?
You know what a fig is?
Of course I know what a fig is.
What's a
So it
fig?
goes
It's a
in
fruit.
Newton?
What's a fig though?
What do you want from
It's
me?
a Newton.
It's a fruit.
It's a Newton.
Any more than that? It's not a Newton.
It's a berry.
It's kind of like a female radish in a way.
What does it grow on, Kendall?
It's the cousin to a plum.
I believe a mulberry bush.
No, mulberries grow on a mulberry bush.
I have no idea.
Figs grow on a
What do you get on the
tree.
flavor? They don't. They grow on a bush.
It's a fig tree.
No,
It is, because you can buy them.
but it's not a tree.
They call them fig trees.
Yeah, but it's not a tree. It's a bush.
It's called a fig tree.
Look up a fig tree and tell me if it's a bush or a tree.
Google.
Okay, so I tasted vanilla, but I didn't really taste that honey like I smelt.
Can't let this stupid ring.
Thank you. God, I just put my hand in my pocket.
Right, Joe Buck.
Get booked.
So you'll get the vanilla, not as much honey on the flavor. You should get a little honey on the aftertaste.
Oh, we're supposed to have drank this?
Yep.
Mm.
You're gonna pull out not as much booze on this one as you would the rest of them.
No, that's super
Because
sweet.
this is a more mainstream rye. This is a more mass-produced rye. So you're not going to get the higher proof quality on this like you would out of the rest of the ryes we're going to taste.
There's something else I'm tasting that I can't. It's not like a smoky wood component. There's something else.
All right,
that
I need to show this around the room while we're doing this because this came up. What's everybody think this is, bush or a tree?
It's a bush.
What? How tall is that? I can't tell.
Kendall, fuck you.
I mean, do you lay on the ground and take that picture? There's really no size
Kyle?
comparison. Let's see a car next to it, and I'll make my determination.
Kendall, I'm
I'm
going
gonna
to
tell you
fucking throw this
I'm
at
going to
you.
tell you this right now. I have 27 Italian restaurants that have fig trees growing outside of them for their accounts, and none of them look like that.
That's really an apple tree that he's posing as. Isn't it?
No problem.
Big apple.
All right, so what is the other flavor components that we might be getting in this?
Vanilla. You can get some baking spices, cinnamon, nutmeg.
Mhm.
You get a little bit of ginger, and then you'll pull out a little bit of that oak.
I
and a
actually
little
do
bit of sweetness.
taste the ginger. Don't fucking shake your head at me.
So no, you don't
funny.
taste it.
Well, it's funny.
You guys don't smell or taste 90% of the shit I list.
Hey, give me another one because I haven't. I drank.
No, not. 'Cause you don't care at all. Move on to your NBA draft segment. You'll taste the third one. We'll do it at the end of the hour. Mock's doing the fourth one.
So
That's the 190 proof one. So it's not 190 proof. You're doing the fourth one though.
the lottery has been given out, and then I just went by how they did it. Things will change.
Yeah,
Just-
how it stands right now.
Yeah, so you guys know things will change.
As
Okay.
always. That's like
Yeah.
the most changing draft ever.
So Minnesota ended up winning the lottery, and they have D'Angelo Russell, they have Karl Anthony Towns, and they have Jarrett Culver. Yes, Jarrett Culver can play the 2, but he can also play the 3.
Can you play the 4, though?
No.
What about the 7?
Can you shut the fuck up?
So going into this, there's definitely a need.
No. All right. There's a need at the wrong position, but they have the 7. We'll get into that.
So I don't want to cut you off. What does it mean at the wrong position?
They have a need at the power forward position.
So you look like they need depth. Is that what you're getting at, or?
Well, no. Can you let me fucking talk?
I'm trying to create like some dialogue here.
All right. They have a need, but it's too.
Do they have a
early.
need for speed?
It's
Fast. I knew you were going to say it.
it's too early to pick that position. Did that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Being said, D'Angelo Russell is not a strong defender, and neither is Karl Anthony Towns. In my opinion, I would love to see LaMelo Ball here. But I do think they pick Anthony Edwards. He's a very good shooter. He's a 3-and-D type player. He could play the 2 very well. They could move Culver to the 3.
At what school? For
Georgia. He went to the University of Georgia.
Okay. He's a yellow jacket, huh?
It's a bulldog.
Yeah. Damn. really rolled the dice on that one. Just to
swung
be.
and miss.
Who is Georgetown? Are they Yellow Jackets?
They're the I think they're
Bulldogs.
also
Georgia
the
Tech,
Bulldogs.
isn't it?
Georgia Tech, isn't it? Are they the Yellow Jackets?
They're the Hoyas.
The Hoyas. That's Spanish for Yellow Jacket, though, right?
No, it's a bulldog.
Okay.
It's Georgia Tech or the Yellow Jackets.
Forget it.
Hey, quick. I mean, the consensus right now is LaMelo Ball is the number 1, right?
No,
No.
it's not even close to consensus.
I only asked that because I mean, I looked at like one mock draft and they had him.
I think
first overall.
that's just
It's consensus. I looked at one.
It's a name that's floating around though, big
So
time.
it depended on who got the 1 pick. In this case, Minnesota, it's Anthony Edwards. LaMelo Ball, I would love to see him there. Let D'Angelo play the 2, let LaMelo play the 1, but the defense would be too terrible.
Okay, so if LaMelo Ball goes 1,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, does anything come back to what's the dad's name there? LeVar Ball. Because I mean, he said this when Lonzo was 3 years ago now that LaMelo would go first, and I mean everyone kind of ripped on him because he was just ridiculous. But I mean,
Yeah, he needs to get back in the media, honestly.
does anything like come back to him and
No.
like does he come back in like he was when Lonzo
No,
was
because
drafted?
LaMelo basically already told his dad to stay the fuck away. Like, he'll play overseas.
Mhm.
And like he was basically like, dude, just let me do this. And he performed at a very high level. So that's why his name back in contention for the top pick. Understandable?
Yeah, I follow.
You know what I'm saying, you dumbass?
Yeah, man, they get the dissertation from
listen.
Scholes.
So the number 2 pick is Golden State. I don't know if they trade this pick or not, but I didn't do trades. It sucked for the team behind them, but
So what's kind of the move Golden State's kind of going for here?
they need a center in the worst way.
So, I mean, I guess, injury played into it. The way, the COVID, when it impacted, Golden State in a certain way.
Steph was out for a good portion of the year.
Right. So, where moving forward, where do they kind of sit? Like, what do you think happens to them? Like,
They'll be back to normal next year.
You think they're back? They're back.
So they get
the
Clay
way,
back. Steph's healthy.
their old winning ways.
Yeah.
And they have a 2 pick.
Bastards.
And they're going to pick center James Wiseman. Right now, their center is Kevon Looney. He's a good backup, in my opinion. He's not a good starter.
So you think they go center? This
Yeah.
Wiseman out of where?
If they stay at the 2, that's who they pick, James Wiseman. And then, they just kill it. 'Cause I think Wiseman could be the best player in this draft.
What school is he coming out of?
Oh, sorry. Memphis.
Memphis.
I'll start doing that from now on. I'm sorry.
That's right. Listen, Kyle, this is your biggest thing. You got to give us all.
And then Charlotte's up next. They are a team that needs a center. But they unfortunately got 3 pick.
So, is there a chance that he falls?
No.
No.
If
Not in this mock draft, anyway.
If Golden State makes the 2 pick, they're picking Wiseman. Unless
they
I
do
can see
otherwise.
him trading though for capital.
yeah. Then
I could see Golden State trading with Chicago to get like a Lauri Markkanen. Couldn't you, Kyle?
Yeah.
Like a Lauri Markkanen, something else, in the 4 pick, so that the Bulls can jump up to get LaMelo Ball. Kyle, could you agree with that?
Yeah. But in this, I'm not doing any trades because it's way too early to figure that out. Charlotte's going to take guard LaMelo Ball. And I pick him for a couple reasons. One, they need a star because they let Kemba walk.
So is this kind of like a best available situation?
Yeah, Charlotte's one of those teams that just kind of needs everything.
Mm-hmm.
But if you come down to it, the guard is their strongest suit. Because Devontae Freeman, not
Devonta Freeman.
Taking a jump.
Devontae Graham played at a very high level.
Mm-hmm.
Terry Rozier is not terrible, but you put LaMelo in, he could take the minutes. Rozier could play the 6-man, and it'll be.
So is this a situation like, hey, we want LaMelo, and this is the guy we build around from now on? Is that kind of the thought process?
LaMelo is a very gifted offensive player. Just can't play defense yet. He's too skinny.
Got to get him on that Boston market diet.
And then you go to Chicago.
Half chicken.
Who moved up to the 4th pick. I have him taking Denny
Avdija?
Yeah. He's a Spanish dude. He's a wing. That's the main thing the Bulls need. You need a wing that can shoot the goddamn
I
ball.
like your analysis. He's a Spanish dude, and he plays basketball.
He played in Israel, though, didn't he?
I don't know. dude.
Spanish Israel, mess.
Yeah.
On the peninsula.
Yeah, it's pretty well known.
If I'm wrong,
There's Tel Aviv,
shot.
and then there's Spanish Israel.
but the Bulls need a wing. And regardless, he's a wing that can shoot the ball. And
Yeah, Israel, Kyle.
Doesn't mean it's not Spanish. Played in Israel doesn't mean it's not Spanish.
He was born in Israel.
You said played. You said played earlier,
He was born in Israel, too.
but you said played.
Okay, you just made a different point, and I ascertained that point and provided new information.
This guy's fucking throwing vocab words out. Guy plays Minecraft all day and thinks he can fucking throw words out.
I like the use of ascertain.
Thank you. Kyle, continue.
But anyway,
He said
Diet-
aspartame,
Isn't
which
that
is
what's
the
in
Diet
Diet
Coke.
Coke?
drug.
they drafted Kobe White last year, regardless if people think he's a guard, starting point guard or a 6-man. It's beyond the point.
Mhm.
We don't know what he is going to be yet. They have a power forward. They drafted a center. Now they need a wing that can shoot. Otto Porter was supposed to be that guy, but he hasn't really done anything in Chicago.
So is this move kind of like hey, we're done with Otto Porter, we shop him, or just kind of like, hey, you battle it out for minutes? What's kind of the thought process, you think?
both ways. I think Otto Porter will start the year, but I think he can take over during some point of the.
So you think the move is that you think they do move Otto Porter at some point?
I do. I don't.
He
think
seems like a player who you could get something for.
Yeah, even if it's a later round pick, the Bulls are redoing their team.
Mhm.
In my opinion, they fired the coach, they fired the GM, so now I think it's going to be whatever they figure out.
Yeah, fire sale.
Yeah. Then it's the Cleveland Cavaliers. This was the toughest pick for me because they drafted 2 guards, but they're not strong. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think they're ready to give up on him because they drafted him so early.
Mhm.
Then last year they drafted Kevin Porter Jr. as well as Darius Garland.
Well, it's a very young team.
Yeah, but I do see them moving on from Tristan Thompson. And that's why I have them taking Onyeka Okongwu, center out of USC.
Oh.
Just a younger player that can get in there and get rebounds and block shots. He's a solid player.
So is this? I mean, I don't know if this really counts in basketball or not. Is this like a center heavy draft? Is that a thing?
No,
Like, I mean,
it's not center heavy at all.
not.
No, most of these guys have been point guards and shooting guards and power
Well, I
forwards
guess I
and
was
small
curious
forwards.
because of Kyle has brought up players like, well, this team needs this, and it seems like it's been a center being.
Kyle, what do you
selected.
think about Obi Toppin?
Talk about that in a minute.
Obi-Wan
Okay.
Kenobi? Not bad. The force
then
is
we
strong
have
in
the
this one.
6th spot at the Atlanta Hawks and the Falcons.
Oh, Devontae Freeman.
Atlanta Hawks have a plethora of young players, but they don't play defense at a high level. And Trae Young is probably the worst defender in basketball. Kevin Huerter doesn't help him at the 2, but they have John Collins. They have Clint Capella.
Mhm.
They have DeAndre Hunter, which I don't think they're ready to give up on yet. They also have Cam Reddish. I think they take shooting guard Isaac Okoro out of Auburn. He's a defensive-minded player who would fit very nice to Trae Young. Kevin Huerter could go to the bench. He's a shooter.
Mhm.
I just think that Okoro fits well with Young. He
You
can
think
shoot.
he's better than Patrick Williams?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Keep
No, you're
going.
good. Then we have the Detroit Pistons, who need pretty much about everybody. They were unfortunate to lose the lot. In this scenario, they have Christian Wood. They still have Blake Griffin, who I think they will trade at some point. They have Christian Wood. They have Derrick Rose, but I don't know how long they expect him. I don't know how that they expect to keep him. And if they do trade Derrick Rose, they do need a point guard. I think they pick one here. Killian Hayes, he from America, played over in France.
So, do you think, as a candidate for a team to perhaps change position, do you think there's a scenario where Griffin and Rose both go
Together?
together? Yeah,
Not together, but they do go.
before season
It's a
start.
lot of money together.
Before season start or mid-season?
Before season starts.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know much about Killian Hayes. He didn't play in college. So.
Hey, listen, you know more about him than I do. Seems like a guy who sells
Then we
bread.
go to the New York Knicks, who, upsettingly to a lot of people, lost the lottery.
No, listen, not upsettingly, understandably lost.
They
Good
felt
thing
the
you're a
need-
Rockets fan.
They
New York Rockets.
In my opinion, they have 75 power forwards, but they're all kind of the same player. They have a wing. They drafted Kevin Knox. I don't know how he's producing.
A lot of stock in that pick, though.
But Frank Ntilikina has been terrible. So I think they go point guard. Tyrese Halliburton out of Iowa State. He's possibly one of the best point guards in this draft class. Or not best, but like NBA ready.
Okay.
He also plays a little defense. He's not the.
Comes in with a more complete game than
Yeah.
a lot of people.
He's what the Knicks need. The Knicks need a lot of everything. So
I'm sorry, where's he coming from?
Iowa State.
Iowa State.
Kendall, where can I send something to you at?
You can send it to you have my Yahoo email? No?
Don't say it on air.
Then the Washington Wizards.
Oh, I want emails.
I think this is a value pick over a pick of need. I think he fell here. I think the Washington Wizards take power forward Obi Toppin out of Dayton.
Over Devin Vassell that's still on the board?
I'll explain why in a minute. I think the Wizards have a very big problem in their front court. They have Thomas Bryant and Rui Hachimura, who I didn't get to see a lot of because he was injured for he was injured for the back end of the year when I started watching basketball before the COVID happened. Devin Vassell would make sense, but they still have Bradley Beal. I do believe John Wall will come back next year. For how long, I don't know. I think they take Toppin just so I think the Wizards are going to try one more time with that team to really make a run for it. Not run for it, but like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like this is kind of like their boomer bust.
To figure it out. I think Obi Toppin, he's a very electrifying power forward. He dunks with authority and he gets rebound. I think he would complement a center that like a Thomas Bryant.
I like that dunks with authority.
Yeah,
I like that.
like he's a very flashy player.
I like to use that.
Kendall, do you dunk with authority?
I try. If I had a big enough hand and could palm a basketball, that's the only thing keeping me back. I have to crane it. I have to trap the ball in my hand and wrist.
And we have the Phoenix Suns at 10, who I think picked Devin Vassell out of Texas, out of Florida.
There you go.
Florida State. He's more of a defensive type of guard, who I think fits well with Devin Booker.
He can shoot well, too.
Yeah. But I think they can move Devin Booker to the point guard position, which they've been trying to figure out if he can do it or not. But I think he can do it. Put Vassell at the 2. Now you have a defensive 2. They're always looking for guards. He can even play the 1 if they need him to. Ricky Rubio's a point guard, so it goes hand in hand with what they want to do.
Let's talk about the Spurs. The Spurs sound like a very fun pick.
It's different because they're not really usually in position.
Yes.
But I think overall in everything, I think the Spurs need another wing.
You don't think they need a power forward?
No. Unless they let go of LaMarcus Aldridge.
You know what's funny is actually, you know who the top landing spot for LaMarcus Aldridge is? Kyle?
Who?
Blazers.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That'd be a lot of fun.
You're a lot of fun, Kyle.
But I think they pick, well, because their wings right now are Rudy Gay, who's aging. Honestly, I don't think they have another one. I'm sure they do, but I can't think of them. They have Keldon Johnson, who hasn't really turned out to be much of anything yet.
You know, it's a line, Kyle, that you said that always has stuck with me. You said Rudy Gay is a cancer to whatever team he goes on.
Yeah, they never win.
That's always stuck with me. I don't know why.
I think they picked Sadiq Bey out of Villanova. He's a 3-and-D type player.
That's not a bad pick.
He's a shooter, but also a defender. Obviously, 3-and-D, that's what that means. But for people who don't know who that is, he's younger. He's a younger version, I think, of Rudy Gay. And right now, the Spurs are going through a phase where they need to get younger and let go of all these older players. So
I follow that reasoning. Time for
Alright.
a cool change.
Let's talk about
Sacramento.
just got rid of their GM.
Yeah,
Vlad.
Vlade Divac sucks ass. There have been a lot of talks of them trading Buddy Hield.
They're going to need somebody to replace him.
And that's what I was going with. If they do end up trading Buddy Hield.
So it'd been a prime spot for Isaac Okoro.
Yeah, but he ain't going to drop that far.
He might. He might.
I picked Aaron Nesmith out of Vanderbilt.
Boilermaker.
He just fits the role of another shooting guard that can shoot.
Isn't that Purdue?
I think so.
He just fits like that role.
Mhm.
He's a shooter. He can come in, take Buddy Hield minutes.
What's how old is Buddy Hield right now?
Probably like 26, 27-ish.
So there's still a market for him.
Yeah.
Buddy Hield is 27, will turn 28 in December.
He came out older. Then we have Mox, New Orleans Pelicans.
Pels.
Bells could use a small forward.
You're right. No, they don't.
You're right. You're wrong.
Because they have Brandon Ingram.
They could use a small forward.
I haven't taken
Hey, he's good.
a backup point guard because Drew Holiday's aging, and there's been a lot of talk
All
about
right.
them trading him.
Let me guess. Cole Anthony?
That's right.
Cole Anthony Towns, awesome pick.
It's Mark Anthony's son.
And so they're losing. There's a lot of talking and trading Drew Holiday. Lonzo Ball seemed like he didn't want to be there anymore. So with a vacancy opening in New Orleans, Cole Anthony makes it the right pick. He's a point guard. He's not going to light the world on fire, but he could do a little bit of shooting, do a little bit of passing. You know, with the team that's young, he can work with them to get.
He struggles with turnovers, though.
Yeah, but he's young. He could fix that.
Could.
Yeah.
He's a streaky scorer, too, though, Kyle.
You're right. He doesn't need to score.
I want to know what scouting website you're on right now, Matt.
I did a little bit of looking into this.
Well, listen, credit to you more
Think
than
about
I
it. They
did.
didn't have to score at a high value because they have Brandon Ingram, they have Zion.
Kendall, can you tell me what the Villanova team name is?
Just give me an 8-second countdown.
8, 7,
6, 4.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, they are the Villanova Musketeers.
No.
That's
Actually, I have no idea.
It's Xavier.
Villanova Supernovas.
It's a NASA themed.
It is Xavier Musketeers. Good job, Kyle. They are the Wildcats.
Never would have got that.
Then we go to Boston, who kind of has a lot of. They have 3 picks in the draft.
This is the one from the Grizzlies, right?
Yeah,
More than one in the first? Or the other 2?
they have 3 in the first.
They have 3 in the first?
Yep.
Wow. Oh, from
They
trade?
have 30.
Yeah.
They have.
No, they were just given 3 first.
Well,
round
I
picks
was
as
thinking
well.
lottery in my head, how did they score? Yeah, but I got it.
30, 26, and 14.
Boston, I think, needs another big man.
Let's go along with Taco Fall.
I think they need another big man and a guy that they can risk taking this early because it's the Boston Celtics. They can get basically whoever they want. They haven't taken Precious Achua, power forward of Memphis. He can
You don't
shoot a
like the
little
Slav?
bit. What?
You don't like the Slav?
The Slav, huh?
I don't know who the Slav is.
He's a wrestler.
Pokusevsky, something like that.
I like Precious from Memphis. I mean, you could sell T-shirts about.
Kyle, continue.
He's not polished yet, but he has a lot of upside. He came into the college being like a top 10 player.
So, in your opinion, right now, what is the biggest need for
The Celtics?
The Celtics.
Center position.
center position?
Small forward.
You should take 5 private stock shots.
I'm not going to,
Boston, they need a big man.
Yeah, I got you. So I mean, listen, this is not to call you out, and this is not to help me because I mean, I'm just kind of playing passenger here. But it seems like anytime I bring up, what's the need? It seems to be a big man. It seems to be a center, but yet it's not a center-heavy draft.
Correct. Which they probably will take care of in the free agency.
Okay. I'm just wondering.
Magic.
Yeah, Magic. I haven't taken small forward Patrick Williams out of Florida State. They have Jonathan Isaac.
Early?
Can you just fucking let me talk, man?
Listen, Bleacher Report did not tell him he was going that early.
Yeah, especially since the 2019 list.
So, I haven't taken Patrick Williams for a couple of reasons. One, Jonathan Isaac, keep more of a defender than a scorer. He'll move up to the 4. Nikola Vucevic will play the 5. Patrick Williams can play the 3. Eagles play the 4 if needed. They have Evan Fournier. They have Markelle Fultz, who I don't think they're ready to give up on yet.
That poor guy is like.
Magic fall into the draft where they made the playoffs, but there's still a lot of shit they need to work on. They also have Aaron Gordon, so a wing player that can shoot a little bit is probably the best need.
Okay.
We have Portland. Portland needs depth. They have a lot of players. They have Damian Lillard. They have C.J. McCollum. They have Carmelo if he decides to come back. Nurkic. Zach Collins. They drafted Anthony Simons a couple years ago. But I do think they're looking to upgrade the backup point guard position. I haven't taken Theo Melvin from. He played in France, but
You too.
Mm-hmm.
I need to give it to him right now. Continue, Kyle.
He played over in France. He's young, but I do think that they need the depth over there. You know, they have Gary Trent Jr., but he's more of a 2 in the NBA.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear who you said they were taking. Who did you say?
Theo
Mike
Malcolm.
Mock out of Gateway.
CC,
You said Theo.
averaging 8 points a game.
I'm a tall forward.
Then we go back to 17, which is the Minnesota Timberwolves. This is probably a reach pick, but I like the fit. I like the role that he'll play. I haven't taken power forward Vernon Carey out of Duke. They need a power forward that can play defense. They don't need another scorer because they have Russell, they have Towns. I think they need a guy that can go in there, get the rebounds, and do all those dirty things. I think Vernon Carey is the perfect fit.
Right in the shower.
What about Tyrell Terry?
Minnesota.
LSU.
No, like for Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't taken the shooting guard early, but I do have them. They have Russell. So I don't. I can see it, but I don't think them. I don't see them going guard heavy in the first round.
Fair enough. Okay, I can see that.
18 is the Dallas Mavericks. Yes, they have Luka Doncic, who brings the ball up and does all the point guard things. I haven't taken point guard R.J. Hampton, who didn't play in college because he's an asshole.
What does that mean exactly?
So he took like Under Armour deal and started like doing like Under Armour thing.
Okay, so he opted not to play,
Yeah.
but kind of was like
He wanted to get paid.
Gotcha.
Going into this year, if he played in college, he was a top player in this draft. R.J. Hampton, I think, still had the potential to be very great. People don't know what he can do because he didn't play at that level. But Dallas can take a risk at this pick because they have Luka Doncic. They have other guard.
Okay, I follow. I mean, like, hey, you know, if this guy turns out to be great, good on you. If it turns out, then whatever. You picked 18.
He can complement Luka Doncic. It's another depth pick, but very high boomer bust pick for them.
Yeah.
Then you go to Brooklyn.
Brooklyn
has Kyrie. Brooklyn has Kevin Durant. They have
Brooklyn now
Jared
has
Allen.
Jalen Smith.
That's who you think?
Why not?
Anyways.
God, it's just so condescending.
No, he's Mel Kiper's nephew.
Jalen Smith is a power forward, which I think they will address in free agency with a veteran type player. I think they go for bench depth here. They have Joe Harris. I think they go with Tyrese Maxey out of Kentucky. Another high volume player. He can shoot the ball. He can defend a little bit. I think he fits well between Kyrie and Kevin Durant.
He's a good shooter, too.
So what's the Nets' expectation going into 2021?
Steve
They don't
Nash,
make-
player coach.
Playoffs.
At least Eastern Conference Final.
At least
Mhm.
Eastern Conference Final. Okay.
I think that's a little strong.
I don't know.
But
They're two of the best players in the NBA.
first year playing together, though. Need a little bit of time to build up team chemistry.
Yeah, I agree that chemistry is important in basketball than perhaps a lot of other sports. But, you know, I think sometimes you throw a bunch of, you know, good players in a basket, they get it done.
Kyle, take us to the Heat.
The Heat, I haven't taken point guard Tyrell Terry out of Stanford. He's an Eric Spoelstra type player. He's a defender. He's a very smart player. He's from Stanford.
He's a little bit smaller, though, isn't he?
Yeah. But like the Kendrick Nunn.
I like that Stanford endorsement.
Kendrick Nunn's kind of on the smaller side, in my opinion, for a point, just in general, for where he plays. But I think he could be a good backup. He could be like the Mario Chalmers and Norris Cole of that team.
He'll be Seth Curry.
Right.
That's a good comparison. Then we go to Philadelphia. They need bench. A lot of it.
I'm curious to see who the homer pick for Kyle is here. No
I think
offense,
they
Kyle.
take a flyer on a guy that was supposed to be a top 5 player in this draft.
So wait,
Hockey team?
Yeah, you mean you tell me they just pick a player from across like the same
Yeah.
building?
I think they take a flyer on a player
Ben Simmons.
that was supposed to be a top 5 player in this draft. I haven't taken small forward who can play power forward, Jaden McDaniels out of Washington. He underperformed greatly at the college level, but for the Sixers, he doesn't have to play right away. He could play in the G League and get better.
I'm very curious what you mean by underperformed greatly. What does that mean in your opinion?
So going into the college year, he was a top 5 player.
Okay.
He played himself out of that.
Yeah, he played himself into the
Okay,
into
I
the
follow.
mid-twenties.
I follow.
To
Do
where
you like-
I don't think he should have came out.
Do you like him better than Tyler Bay and Jaden McDaniels?
I picked Jaden McDaniels.
Did you?
Yeah.
I don't remember. All right. Do you like him better than Tyler Bay?
It's not that it's not that I like him better. It's just that I think that he fits better. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Yeah.
I don't think the Sixers
Composition-wise?
need like a true power forward because they have Mike Scott. So I think they can afford to take a gamble on a kid that could go to the G League, get better, and work his way back up.
What about Paul Reed?
I don't know who that is.
Our brother?
I'm surprised. I didn't realize he was eligible.
You told me he was playing another year.
Yeah, well, hey, good for him.
Then we go to Denver. I haven't taken shooting guard Josh Green out of Arizona. Ever since Gary Harris has gotten his contract, he's been very underwhelming. He hasn't been what he was the first couple of years. At this point of the game, it's all kind of like a bench role, but if you hit right in the system, he can be a very good pick for you. He didn't shoot well at Arizona, but going into Arizona, he was supposed to be very good. I think it's kind of a perfect fit for both teams, for both scenarios. He can have time to develop while he can play a decent amount of minutes as well.
What about Desmond Bain? Kid from TCU.
I don't have him in the first round.
Okay.
Again, this is my first one, so I just kind of,
That's fair enough.
I don't know.
I don't know what the hell I'm
Okay.
talking about. I'm just trying to contribute to you, Kyle.
Utah. This is the perfect pick for 2 reasons. One,
Gordon Hayward?
he's white. And 2, they need a backup point guard because Mike Conley was pretty trash this year. I haven't taken point guard Nico Mannion out of Arizona. Another player that was supposed to be a top 10 player going into the draft. Played himself out of it.
What was it? I'm sorry.
Nico Mannion.
Oh, okay.
They do need a backup point guard, and Utah loves the white dude. They pick white dudes all the time.
That's racist, Kyle.
Not racist, it's just what they do.
So you're saying I should campaign to get drafted by Utah?
Yeah.
Up next for the Bucks.
Milwaukee, I haven't taken point guard Kira Lewis out of Alabama. George Hill, I think, will leave in the offseason. If it's by trade or by free agency, they go younger in this position. He can shoot lights out with the ball.
So can Tyrese Maxey from Kentucky.
He's already been picked.
Who picked him?
The Nets.
That's right. Forgive me. I apologize.
Oh, that'll be 10 push-ups.
With Eric Bledsoe, he is what he is. So I think they need another point guard.
Actually, I'm kidding.
If George Hill leaves, I think they need a backup point guard desperately, and I think it kind of fits hand in hand.
I don't hate that pick.
Then we have Oklahoma City. There's a risk of losing Chris Paul. There's a risk of, which would mean Shea would go to the point guard, or Dennis Schroeder would start. But in that scenario, they would need another point guard or a shooting guard. So I'm taking Jahimus Ramsey out of Texas Tech.
Bless you.
Another guy that can shoot the ball.
Yes.
That's
a guy that flies all over the court.
yeah. He would be a.
Sorry, hold on. Let me pull my inner Collinsworth. Now, here's a guy that flies all over the court.
I think he'd be a good fit for that team. They no, they don't.
About to start this profound statement, goes back on his word.
It's a fit pick. guess. Like, they need a point guard or a shooting guard, and the best one might leave. So he might be able to fill the void. Then we go back to Boston at 26. I haven't taken Daniel Oturu, center out of Maryland. I just picked him because he was a center. I didn't read about this guy.
I mean, he's one of the better centers in the draft, quote unquote, better. The only other one there is Vernon Carey Jr.
Yep, which is going to Minnesota.
Okay.
The New York Knicks, they have a lot of power forwards, but they have a lot of power forwards that are the same fucking player. They're not athletic. They can only really rebound. They're not scorers. So I'm taking power forward Jalen Smith, also out of Maryland. Because I think, like, he's an athletic power forward who can do different stuff that they don't have. Will he play right away? I don't think so. I think he'll end up in the G League at first. But
I think they should get rid of R.J. Barrett and take Josh Green.
Josh Green was already taken.
All right. How about then Cassius Stanley?
Who? Cassius Stanley?
That's all he's got to say about that.
Cassius Stanley?
Who?
At Duke?
Yeah.
Nah. They're not going to get rid of the guy that just drafted last year. Not how that works.
It was a joke, Kyle.
Right. But you're wrong.
It's also sometimes how it works in basketball.
It is sometimes how it works.
Then we have the 28th pick, the Los Angeles Lakers. They have Rajon Rondo, who's been hurt.
This is where Cassius Stanley goes.
I think they need another backup point guard.
Oh.
I think they take Cassius Winston out of Michigan State.
It was half right, Cassius.
Yeah.
I personally believe that the Lakers in this scenario are looking for a guy that's older enough to help the bench more than a younger guy that's not going to play right away. The guy has a lot of leadership. We've seen it time and time again in Michigan State. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to play in the tournament, so we couldn't really see what he can do. His stock would probably be higher, but I think it's a good fit for the Lakers. 29. In my opinion, Marc Gasol's old as hell,
He is.
and I don't think they really have a good backup center.
Not really.
So I haven't taken Udoka Azubuike out of Kansas. Young guy, kind of plays like Mark. He's a defender. He can rebound. You don't really need him to do much. He's just an all-around decent center.
I mean, I wouldn't hate a small forward with this pick.
Yeah.
Agabuni just... I can't say his last name anytime if I try, but...
Atanakumbo.
Tyler Bay is still there, isn't he?
Yeah.
I would love Tyler Bay on this team. Would play right into Nick Nurse's defense.
You're right.
Be able to...
He also brings more flair.
The Raptors aren't a team about flair, though.
You're right. But you need to.
Why?
I said so.
I like that. Bringing out the intangible as a reasoning is always good.
This is the kid that his strengths lie in his defense.
You're right,
which is what
but-
our team is built off of.
You're right. I just don't see it because he's an undersized power forward.
He's 6'7".
They have him listed as a power forward, and he's undersized.
6'7" as a power forward is ridiculous. LeBron James is 6'6".
I said small forward.
But they have him listed as a power forward.
Yeah, he's a power forward.
And I think you personally need a center more
John
than you
Scott
do.
is 6'8" or 6'7"
It's all
and
be
plays
gone
power
in 2
forward.
years, so you're not wrong. But
It
I'm
doesn't matter what
thinking
your
about
height
while
is,
we're
it matters what position
in
you
the
play.
method, or while we're built for contending for a championship. Gasol will play those 2 years that we're still built.
You're
for
right,
that.
but who's your backup center?
But position build is different than height. John Scott is an undersized power forward, but he plays power forward because that's the position he
You
plays.
could put Bay at small forward. It wouldn't hurt.
It does though. It does hurt.
'Cause
It's
I'll-
not,
I'll read
especially as a
something-
rookie. If it's not his game,
he
it
only
hurts.
He hits a 6 for a 3-point shot, which is not good for.
If you're going to put him as a small forward, you're going to put him as your backup small forward, and you're going to commit to him getting
but you
8
also
minutes a
have a
game.
logjam at small forward because you have Ochio Anunoby and you have Chris Boucher, who's also an undersized power forward.
Plus, you also have Siakam, who splits time at the 3 and the 4.
And then Boston at the 30th pick. There's a pick in, I think, for whatever. This guy probably going to end up in the G League because they're too deep as it is. Devin Dotson, point guard out of Kansas. Like, Carson Edwards is good, but we don't know how, like, he's not great. But Devin Dotson, I think, could be a better shooter than Edwards.
Okay. What we got left, Kyle?
That's it.
That rounds out the list.
Good job, Kyle.
All right, round 2.
All right, Kyle, let's go for round 2. Ready? Kendall, why don't you put what I sent you up on the board? Kyle, I think, would have fun with that.
Do you want to do that now? Or we're close to break time hour 2 unless we're not taking a break, which I don't care. We'll do whatever.
Hey, so we'll see you guys on the other side of the break. Oh, wait, hold on. We got to do this.
Yeah. Go ahead, smell.
We're doing the third taste of rye right now.
Yeah. Kyle, did you drink yours?
Yeah.
This is less sweet than the other one.
I agree, less sweet, but I do pick up
yes,
like a vanilla note
and some oak.
Yeah, there's some wood that makes it good in this somewhat.
Sandalwood.
Sandalwood, God.
I'm gonna come up with something for you for every single one of these.
Perhaps floral.
Oak.
Okay.
Brown sugar. Nutmeg. Vanilla. Honeysuckle. Lilac.
Ah.
Ooh.
There it is. All those smelling candles has paid off.
Kendall, cheers.
See you. Kyle, you all right?
Jesus Christ.
Did you fall?
Yep.
He's all right, everyone.
That was good. Burns up front real quick, but mellows out almost just as fast. Kyle, why are you turning the lights on and off?
Well, he grew up in a lighthouse, so we just got
Gotcha.
him.
It has a sweet finish to it.
This actually, to me, has somewhat Scotch components to it. I feel like I got more wood on taste, but I did sweet. I can't look at Paul when I'm trying to do this stuff.
I'm just listening.
I do taste like the vanilla and honey still, but actually I guess the oak comes through more in the taste than I did in smell.
Okay.
Is my biggest takeaway. This is more
You'll
Scotchy
put
to
some
me.
oak out in the beginning, but it should fade away very quickly. You should get some orange zest in it. You should get some vanilla. You should get some mixed berry, some wildflower, and potentially even like a little bit of nutmeg.
This is good.
This is the #1 selling rye in the world. Michter's U.S.
Oh, this is Michter's.
Michter's U.S. rye.
Wow. Have I had Michter's before?
Not the rye.
Not the
You've had
rye?
The small batch.
This might be a front runner for my favorite. This is
So
good.
what makes small batch is it can't be the #1 distilled product in a distillery. So Michter's is one of those rare ones where their lead bourbon can be described as a small batch because they pump out more rye than anything else.
I got you.
Michter's rye is one of the top used bourbons across bars in the nation.
Yeah, that was good.
Many old
I enjoyed it.
Manhattans, various whiskey cocktails, to say the least.
So when making a drink like that, like a Manhattan or an old fashioned, would you, let's say you were an aficionado and would you buy make me a Manhattan with rye? Is that would you say that or
You usually would go with a rye because a rye component has a little bit of a sweet component to it, but it also has a lot of high proof alcohol contents to it.
So the bartender
So
would assume when you ask for that drink?
Usually, a proper Manhattan would usually be made with a rye or a high proof whiskey because then you're going to add the sweet vermouth to it and the orange bitters, which balances the whole thing out.
Interesting.
You could
Didn't
use
know
a
that.
Michter's rye in an old fashioned because it has a little bit of those sweeter components to it to muddle with the fruit, but it's more of a dealer's choice.
I got you.
Mock's talking shit over there.
No, not at all.
We're going to figure out what he's talking about on the break. We'll come back and we'll beat the shit out of him live on the PPRN Radio Network.
And now, back to getting sports with Drunk on the PPRN Radio Network.
Welcome back to Getting Sports with Drunk live on the PPRN Radio Network. Poops. We're all poops.
Poops. Big poops.
Yep. So
I don't poop.
No? That's a
I
shame.
didn't really discuss this with Massey. I meant to
Nobody
on
ever
the show,
discusses anything with
but
Massey.
I talked to the three of you about it.
Yep, that's typical.
Well, I was with them. Massey, would you be willing to wager $20 on a fantasy football pool for the season?
No.
All right, so it'll be the four of us then. So we're gonna do a Getting Sports with Drunk fantasy football pool, where we're gonna do like a best to worst ranking for every week. So the way it's gonna work is, assume week 1 there's 16 games. You're going to pick the winner of each game, but the one you're most confident in, you'll put at the 16 spot for 16 points. The one you're least confident in, you put at the 1 spot for 1 point. And then all the ones you get right, your points will accumulate. So it's going to be $20 per person. Total points at the end of the season, whoever has the highest amount of points will be winner take all.
Sounds good.
So everyone's going to have to submit their picks. Now, I'm emphasizing this because I will do my best to remind everyone involved, but I will not chase things down.
Fair enough.
You have to make your picks before kickoff on Thursday night because you have to rank them. You can't pick just the Thursday night game and then do the rest of them on Saturday. So, because you have to rank them. You know what I'm saying?
Mass, you're scraping up against the microphone.
So it's going to have to be like a pre-Thursday night kickoff thing. So like I said, I'm going to try my hardest to remind everybody on Wednesday or Thursday morning, but I won't chase down picks.
I think that's
and that
fair.
includes myself.
That's fair.
I'm going to do all mine in advance on Wednesday. The whole week. I mean. The whole season. Easy for me to say.
You know, it's not a bad technique because honestly, I think people's, mindset doesn't change. What your feelings are week 1 is going to be the same week 16.
Unless Mahomes goes down, I'm pretty much going to pick the Chiefs. It's just a matter of where. So it's like the Bears. Like I'm going to pick the Bears to win every week, but just at the 1 spot, so that if they lose, I only lose a point.
There you go.
Yeah. So, Master, you really not doing it?
I don't know.
He's doing it.
He doesn't know.
I could tell. He does a thing with his wrist.
Well, whatever. So we have 4 confirmed. So it's $20. So we're gonna just go the honor system on it. I'm not gonna make anyone Venmo me $20. Just pay it up at the end. I think everyone here has
Speaking
some sort of.
The Podbean bill went through. That's $20. I think Kyle and Paul paid me.
I can pay you
Didn't you
tonight.
just ask for that like not that long ago?
Yeah, it was a month.
How much you need?
I was gonna say I paid you.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
No,
it
I'm
has.
still gonna pay
I was
you
like,
for
there's
that.
no shot. It's been a year.
I still got to pay you.
Oh man.
That was the worst throw.
Yeah,
I was like, there's no way it's been a year, Mock. There's no fucking way. I was like, what?
They started going on a 3-week time.
are going to need change.
All right, so
This is a fake.
so that's one of the 2 fantasy things we're gonna do. That's gonna be a season thing. We'll update points periodically, not weekly though.
Okay.
Maybe like quarter, half, 3/4 kind of thing. Just because there's not really much to report on. This one is going to be a weekly thing. So I will do this towards the end of the 3rd hour just so everyone can get a chance to review. But I made a list of 6 teams, fantasy teams, that I sent to all 5 members of the podcast. So there's 6 teams, which means every week 1 team will not get picked. The way it's going to work is every week each person's going to pick a team, and that's going to be your fantasy team for the week.
How do we decide the order of picking?
Whoever finished in first the previous week
Gotcha.
gets the pick first.
Cool.
That's the way it's going to go. So, and I mean, there is obviously certain levels of luck involved. I mean, there's no final winner takes everything. It'll be whoever comes in. You know what? Well, I'm thinking maybe we bring back the gross shot for this.
Ugh.
First place makes the gross shot for the last place. 3 items, no solid foods, no dairy products, 1 liquor, 1 non-alcoholic, and then the second's up to you.
I always like that.
Yeah, we'll bring back the gross shot for this for the season. 17 weeks. We're not gonna do postseason or anything like that because obviously players won't make it. So there's 6 teams, and the roster is as follows: 2 quarterbacks, 3 running backs, 4 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, 2 flexes, not super flex, a kicker and a defense, and then there's 6 bench spots. So what I did was I pulled a list from a football source of the top ranked players by position, and I made a list for them. So, like, for quarterbacks, I pulled the top 18 quarterbacks, 3 per team. Running backs, 30. Wide receivers, 36. Tight ends, 18. Kickers, 12. Defense, 12. So there's at least 2 of everything, essentially, so that for bye weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to do the teams the best I could, so it's not going to go in super perfect order because I tried to do it in a snake fashion. So, like, team 1 started off at quarterback, right? So they had the first pick, then they had the 12th pick, then they had the 13th pick. Now, I did that for every position unless bye weeks got in the way. So if you had 3 quarterbacks, but, 12 and 13 had the same bye, I didn't do that because you need to have 2 that can start. So it's pretty much the same. I don't think there's any discrepancies. If anybody sees anything along the way, we'll make an adjustment, but I think it's pretty good. And then it's up to you. Mondays we'll pick the teams because it'll be whoever came in first the previous, or assuming if our show ends before Monday Night Football ends, because that'll wager into it. But we'll pick the teams, and then before the Thursday night, you'll submit to me who you want to be starting. Fair? Everyone got it?
Yep.
Good?
I like it.
So at the end of this hour, we're going to do just a random list generator to determine who picks, and then we'll pick the teams, and we'll go. So you have this hour. Massey has something he wanted to do this hour. We'll kind of wrap up any loose ends, and then at the end of it, what?
I didn't do that. I have something else, but
You said you had something you wanted to do this hour.
well, there's this, but the other thing I was telling you about at the beginning, I haven't done yet.
I'm saying there's something you wanted to do this hour, and then we'll tie up loose ends. If he gets the other thing going, we'll do that. We'll figure it out. And then at the end of the hour, after everyone's had a chance to kind of review these teams, I sent the pictures. I'm going to come up with over the week, I'll type it up in an Excel spreadsheet or something, so it's a little bit easier to read. And we'll go from there. So, and then the scoring, so the GSWD Fantasy League we're doing is through Sleeper.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take the points that these players record on Sleeper for our league. So the scoring is going to be based off of whatever, which is basic standard scoring, PPR, all that nonsense. So it's going to be standard basic scoring. So just think of it the way you would in Sleeper, and you think about it. I mean, week 1, 2, 3, it's kind of, you can kind of go with whoever you think has the best team. When bye weeks start becoming an issue, you can start going that. If you want to start playing matchups, it's up to you. But I put the players. I put the bye weeks that they have. I didn't put teams, and I didn't put schedules. It's up to you to do that homework in advance. I will not supply that stuff.
Okay.
Fair? Everyone got it? Good?
I like it.
Mm-hmm. All right. So over the course of the hour, when you're not chatting, I would just review the teams just because, there's like 21 players per team, and there's 6 teams. So but it's the top guys, So I think the biggest one was wide receivers. I picked off this list I found that did the ranking. I picked their top 36 receivers. So you'll notice there's some names missing from here that you'd be like, oh, that guy's way better than this guy. Why isn't he on the list? Sorry. If I went there and did judgment calls, I'd be doing this forever.
Why didn't you do it forever?
Because I'm a fucking piece of shit, Mass. I don't know what you want from me. I'm an asshole.
Okay.
So why don't you go ahead and do your segment?
It's not really a segment. Kendall, put it up on the board.
Well, it seems like you only wanted Kyle and Paul to weigh in, so.
How good are you at NBA defenses, Mock?
Listen, if I'm not even asked, how would you know?
Can I open it
I'm
up?
asking you right now.
But not.
Okay. Go ahead and hit start. Paul. Kyle. Kendall, do you control plus?
Who screwed up?
Keep making it bigger. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. All right, this is going to be hard.
Mock. Is that the chicken patty BLTs?
Keep going. Keep going. Got to make it bigger.
Shepherd's pie, too.
All right, perfect.
Oh, good
All right,
dinner.
so this is going to be hard for the listeners to, but I found a quiz that I liked. I figure Kyle and Paul can get into this. I don't know if this is going to go over well, but we're going to find out. Kendall's going to play usually about a 9-second, 8-second clip.
More than likely Cantor.
Go ahead and play it, Kendall.
But it's a pick your poison thing. They're
Why?
trying to take Tatum and Walker out.
All
and
right,
make
so
guys
I don't
like
know if the
Grant
viewers
Williams
can,
make
or the
shots.
listeners can hear
Good
that.
passing, big to big.
Kyle and Paul,
Ibaka sets up
can you tell me who
Siakam.
screwed up? There's 4 options there.
Did you watch it, Kyle?
I did.
You want to play it again?
Yeah, just play it one more time.
Yeah.
So it's a who fucked up quiz on NBA defense. So we're watching a clip and we're seeing who we believe fucked up.
all of these are testing different merits of NBA defenses.
In my opinion, I think I'm right.
In my opinion, it's Jason Tatum.
I thought Tatum.
It's Jason Tatum. He went over the pick and roll when the other defender clearly switched. I believe it's Jason Tatum.
Okay, Kyle.
Go with Cantor just for fun.
Well, this will tell you if you're right or wrong. So Kyle's saying Cantor, Paul's saying Tatum, Mock's saying Tatum. Kendall?
Can I watch it one more time?
Yeah, sure, why not?
But it's a pick your poison thing.
Do you know which one's which, Kendall?
Nope.
Okay.
And make
Does
guys
it matter?
Like Grant
They have the
Williams
numbers.
make shots.
Okay.
Good passing, big to big.
Not all of these
Sets
have the
up
numbers. I
Siakam.
apologize.
I think it's Tatum.
It was Grant Williams.
All right, Kendall, pick whichever one you want.
Okay. I'm going to go Grant Williams here.
Okay. So it was actually Brad Widemaker.
What number did you wear?
Number 9.
All right, now play it again so we can see now that that's what they have the answer.
But it's a pick your poison thing. They're trying to take Tatum and Walker out and make guys like Grant Williams make shots.
That's not Wanamaker's fault. I will defend why. Because Pascal Siakam went out of bounds and came back in. Wanamaker was watching the ball and had an idea of where his defender was. He came back inbounds after the deflated pick and roll defense. I understand that Wanamaker should have had more contact with his defender, but Siakam went out of play. He stayed with Siakam where he went, and then after Tatum and Cantor botched the pick and roll defense, and Ibaka had a clear lane to the basket, he went up because he was wide open with the ball.
Okay, Kyle.
Kyle
Kyle's
didn't watch it.
Kyle's basically picking a thing in this draft. Go ahead and hit the next one. So this is a.
All right, so we have Kawhi Leonard guarding the ball.
So read the question,
switch.
though. You're assuming the Clippers are hedging pick and rolls. So who screwed up in this? Kendall, go ahead and play the clip.
The first quarter, we've had 11 lead changes.
Can they hear that?
Yeah.
Very close. Nice pocket pass inside. Little give and go and a beautiful play.
Kendall, play it again.
The first quarter, we've had 11 lead changes. Very close. Nice pocket pass inside.
Kendall, play it one more time.
Give and go and a beautiful play.
Montrezl Harrell.
Realistically, it was everywhere.
The first quarter,
Yeah, it
we've
was
had
pretty
11
shitty
lead
defensive
changes.
team, but Montrezl Harrell.
Very close. Nice pocket
Shouldn't he
pass
have switched to
inside.
Jokic,
Little
though?
give and go and a
Montrezl Harrell should
beautiful
have came over
play.
from the weak side,
Okay.
in my opinion.
Kyle?
From fundamental
I
defense, Montrezl Harrell should have came over from the weak side.
Mock?
I say Harold.
In today's NBA, you don't want to ever leave somebody open behind the arc, but you never ever sacrifice guarding somebody on the perimeter to let someone have an easy two-handed dunk, and he's on the weak side.
Kendall?
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know basketball strategy nearly close to Paul or Kyle.
Or Mock.
Well, listen, I think
I
I
got
know
your back,
about him. But judging by what's available here, I'm going to go with Kawhi is to blame here. Number 2, the ball initially he should have switched to Jokic.
All right.
Jokic. Yeah, I shouldn't have said that.
Joseph.
So just click an answer.
It was Montrezl Harrell.
Montrezl Harrell.
Montrezl Harrell.
He didn't do
That.
anything. He just stood there.
Yeah, it's classic weak side defense.
Kendall, play it one more time.
Anybody who's ever played any form
The
of
first
organized
quarter,
basketball,
we've had
whether it's
11 lead
Weber
changes.
or high school basketball,
Very close. Nice pocket pass inside.
He literally
Give
just
and
stood
go
there.
and a
yeah, because you see
beautiful
Reggie
play.
Jackson take the step in to eliminate him from coming completely across the paint, but still staying with his defender.
Next one. Who screwed up? Celtics and Raptors.
Come on, just playing the clip.
Go ahead and play the clip. Play it 3
8
times.
points in the first quarter of game 2. Looking for more as he finds Williams instead, and another throwdown for Williams.
Well, smart play by Williams.
Okay, hold on. Before you play it again, I want to read the answers. I want to know what numbers I'm watching, because there's 4 numbers, but there's only 5.
Oh, that's fair enough. I don't know how many how many questions there are in this. I didn't actually take the quiz. I just did the first answer. Thought this would be fun for the show.
It was actually kind of cool.
All right, go ahead.
Play it again.
8 points in the first quarter of game 2. Looking for more as he finds Williams instead, and another throwdown for
Kendall?
Williams.
Play it one more time.
In my opinion, I think
Hold on.
it's
Play it one more time.
8 points in the first quarter of game 2. Looking for more as he finds Williams instead, and another throwdown
All right.
for Williams.
Well, smart
Kyle.
play by Williams.
in my opinion, I think it's Ibaka just because he left his man. Yeah, Anunoby was following the guy toward out of bounds, but he made a nice play. I don't think Ibaka did anything wrong. I just think he left his man.
Can you play it one more time?
Yeah.
8 points in the first quarter of game 2. Looking for more as he finds Williams instead, and another throwdown for Williams.
It was a
Smart play by Williams.
I think it's Siakam. He was the sink man and left Robert Williams too early, allowing a dunk.
Mock?
I vote Powell because he played defense how I would be.
Perfect. Kendall, click on one.
Hold on.
All right. Did you not answer?
Can you play it one more time?
Yes.
We're going to do our Rye shot after
8
this
points
because
in the
I
first
don't think
quarter
we're
of
going to be
game
able to drive
2.
if we
Looking
take
for
it at the
more
end
as
of
he
the hour.
finds Williams instead, and another throwdown for Williams.
Well, smart play by Williams.
This is hard. What do you think, Paul?
I'm gonna go with Siakam
Why?
because they were playing a 2-3 defense. I don't agree with the Ibaka overhelping thing. They were playing a 2-3 defense, which is not really a good thing in the NBA, to be honest. I don't think anybody should be playing that because of the 3-second rule. You get bit too many times. But they were playing a 2-3 defense there, so Ibaka's goal was to be standing pretty much in the inner circle there. And Siakam, when he drove in, he kind of left, like, I mean, it says right there, too early. I wasn't reading the thing. He left too early. He should have stayed over. He has the speed and the ability. It's the same type thing we're talking about with Montrezl Harrell. It's the weak side defense. If they're going to kick it out all the way across the court to the guy in the corner, you're going to trust your defender's ability to get back over and make a contested shot before giving up an easy 2 points.
Kendall.
I personally think it's Siakam.
Kendall, pick one. It was, in fact, Siakam. Look at that. All right.
But we can also agree that Powell was not helping the play.
But he wasn't supposed to go down there.
Regardless.
He's avoiding the quick, easy kick out to the top of the key.
All right,
He
let's
was
do this
essentially
Rye shot real quick.
An extra man.
All right, do this quick taste. What do you get on the nose? Kyle, did you drink yours already?
No.
Oh, wow. Shocker.
Thought about it.
This doesn't have as much alcohol smell on it.
It stays true to kind of the sweet thing that we've
It's
had.
actually just apple juice. No.
Oh, it's apple juice. Oh, my goodness.
I don't think the sweet thing is there that much on this one.
Kyle, what do you got?
Again, a little bit of an oak smell.
It's the wood that makes it good.
I think that.
I don't know. I think I smell you.
I think it's a little bit of a honey type smell.
That's Y-E-W,
But
not Y-O-U.
Not too great.
I agree. I get actually more honey than vanilla on this one.
Yeah.
Kyle, there is something in here that you should be getting more than anybody else.
Citrus.
Oh, there's rich blend in here.
No, there's something in here that you should be getting more than anybody else, giving off the fruit that you like to eat.
More of a cantaloupe type.
No, there's cantaloupe and honeydew in this.
Here's the way you said it.
You should be getting a rich melon flavor, which would be a cantaloupe, a honeydew, something like that.
I should be, but I'm not.
You should pull a little bit of honey out of it. You shouldn't be getting any vanilla on this.
I'm not.
On the nose. Very mild mannered on the oak. And you're not going to pull out any spices, really. This is,
smelling California redwood.
They're in there. But you're going to get a very rich, kind of like almost like a fruit salad, kind of like a cantaloupe, honeydew, maybe like a little bit of grape and honey and things like that. It's very light.
It's interesting.
Gentlemen, Nostrovia.
You should get almost initially no burn at all on the first bit of the tongue.
No, but it comes back.
It shouldn't come back harsh, though. It should be very mellowed out. You get a little bit of burn as it rolls down the tongue, and then it should finish out very smooth.
Yep. Yeah.
That's actually very fruity on the end of that. Wow.
This one stands out, actually.
That's very good.
So you're not going to taste a lot of that cantaloupe or anything like that?
I taste some kind of fruit.
I mean,
when it pulls through, you're going to get some notes of honey.
Yeah, like initially.
Banana. Wow. Green apple. And then you're going to pull out a little bit of oak at the end.
That's so crazy. That green apple. As soon as you said it, it's like
I feel it tastes Granny Smith-like.
And then you'll get some cinnamon at the end. A little bit of cinnamon.
Yeah.
A little bit of nutmeg. A little bit of coriander.
Is coriander in this?
There's not coriander in it. I mean, none of the things you've tasted have had vanilla in them.
Fair enough.
Just a barrel. What are you peeing? I got to. Well, you can't sit here and be surprised for the reveal, or do this NBA defensive thing, or your job.
All right, hold on. I got this.
Ass.
Rebecca, you're going over there to click play. All right.
Assume Denver is in a hedge. Who screwed up? All right.
Rebecca, hit it.
No, here's the real quiz. What's a hedge?
It's a type of
tree.
bush.
No, what's a hedge, though, for defense?
It's a
You
type
throw
of
it
bush.
over someone's head.
What?
Nothing. I'm gonna hit play now.
Mark, are you watching?
He thinks guys are ready to exhaust themselves on both sides, Mark.
Yeah, he was certainly defiant, Cassidy, after that Game 6 loss, as
there a
Gobert gets an
double
easy
pick?
one inside.
So,
Is that what a hedge
hold
is?
on, I want to read these.
He says he thinks guys are ready to exhaust themselves
What?
on
Trying to
both
cut off
sides,
lead.
Mark.
Yeah, he was certainly
So no.
defiant, Cassidy, after that Game 6
All right,
loss.
so we got Joe.
Cal,
As Gobert gets
what
an
defines a
easy
lead
one
man?
inside.
A lead man? In that scenario, I don't even know how to answer your question.
Is a lead
What does
man?
it mean to defend a hedge? Assume Denver's in a hedge. What does it mean, Kyle?
I don't know if basketball terminology like that.
Paul, what's a lead man?
The lead man is either the initial person driving to the basket, creating the play, or it can be the guy off the ball. So, for example, in the 2004 Detroit Pistons team, Rip Hamilton was always the hedge man. He very rarely had the ball in his hands, but he was always the guy roaming for the play to finish.
Gotcha.
But in that scenario, Jokic is wrong.
Kendall, play it again.
Hold on.
We got a lot of empty radio here, boys. This is.
I know, but I
think
got to
Jokic-
read these things.
I think Jokic is wrong.
Like
because-
I'm looking for the thing, but it's also part of this too. Is like based off the first one, like the explanation they're giving is part of it. So,
My
I'm looking-
opinion,
so
Jokic
what does
is wrong
Millsap
because-
say there, Kendall?
It says he was in good position, but he gambled for the steal.
All right, so go ahead.
Let's see it.
Play it again.
He says he thinks guys are ready to exhaust themselves on both sides, Mark.
Yeah, he was certainly defiant, Cassidy, after that Game 6 loss, as Gobert gets an easy one inside.
It's weird because the way it played out was so strange.
No.
Like it was kind of like
Millsap.
behind the.
I think it's Jokic because he should know better that.
Play it one more time. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Just because Gobert, he should know better that Gobert does not shoot the ball.
He says he thinks guys
Stick
are
on
ready
your man,
to
don't-
exhaust themselves on both sides, Mark.
Yeah, he was
Monte
certainly
Morris,
defiant, Cassidy, after
Yeah,
that
but
Game
I
6
know what you're
loss,
saying there, Kyle.
as
But
Gobert
it's the
gets an
pick and
easy
it's the
one
pick and roll.
inside.
Jokic has the clear defensive advantage because he couldn't keep up with Gobert. Because even though Gobert can't shoot, Gobert's faster, and he couldn't keep up with him going up to the screen. So it's better for him to stay back and avoid and prevent the drive. In that situation, if the guard doesn't penetrate, Jokic rolls back out to get Gobert, who it can stay uncontested on the 3-point line, while the guard switches back over. I think it's Millsap because I agree with it. Millsap was in a perfect position, and if Millsap didn't go for the steal, would have been in an absolute prime spot to contend that shot, or at least make him kick it back out to the 3 in the corner.
All right.
I say Millsap. You say Jokic?
Yeah.
What is
All
that?
right.
Anybody else?
Hit
I'm
it.
gonna go Jokic as well.
Okay.
Millsap.
Monte Morris.
All right, so click Monte.
Okay, you're an asshole.
It was Millsap.
It was in fact Millsap.
Millsap was not in a.
He
He
says
wasn't in a
thinks guys are
position
ready
for
to
a high
exhaust
percentage steal
themselves
opportunity.
on both sides.
So
Mark.
Kendall, before you
He
hit,
was
certainly
undersized.
defiant,
Look at me.
Cassidy,
Look, you
after
see him.
that
He's
Game 6
undersized in
loss,
that situation, and
as
he had the
Gobert gets
inside
an
edge
easy
on him.
one inside.
Then I'll play it again.
Definitely wasn't Morris because he overtowered.
This is something I made a mistake.
Right, but
of
I'm
doing.
saying, but Millsap had the inside edge on him
No,
already.
I get it. But
If
I'm just
Millsap
saying,
doesn't jump to make that steal, I mean, here's the thing. At the end of the day,
they're both wrong.
well, no. At the end of the day, if you really want to break this down, because if he kept the inside edge, he would have been wide open in the corner. So really, it was. Play it again, real quick, Kendall. Really, at the end of the day, if he didn't go for the steal, this is what would have happened. You see Gobert come up, he sets the pick, he goes back down. Gobert gets the ball. Millsap doesn't go for the steal, he kicks it out for that, and then it would have been up in the corner. The guy with the headband, I couldn't see what number he was. He should have rotated down to play the corner in that position because Gobert would have had his back to the top of the key. He would have never seen that guy wide open to take the 3 at the top of the key. That's where it should have gone.
So these are all testing different concepts of defense. This one tested low man.
Mark, you should join in at some point. The inside of your eyelids are getting heavy.
I'm faded.
Can you drive, though?
Next.
I'm actually kind of waking up so I can drive, too.
All right, so the Clippers.
It's Paul George's fault. He's terrible. Is it the playoffs? Because if it's the playoffs, it's Paul George's fault.
It is the playoffs.
It's Paul George's
the
fault.
Clippers
Kyle,
are
can we
blitzing
agree?
to get the Clippers are blitzing to get the ball out of Doncic's hands. Who screwed up? Hold on, before we even go,
All right,
do
so
we
we got-
want to just say Paul George ahead of time?
No.
So Shamit, he should have left the
I'll
corner
say Paul
to get-
George ahead of time.
He should have left the corner to get help in the middle. Paul George was late helping the helper. Kawhi Leonard has to hustle. Read those last
Hustle
two.
to get to the Peyton, protect against the layup, and then Marcus Morris, the guy who dunked was his man, and Morris was over helping.
Probably Marcus.
It is probably Marcus Morris. Fuck Marcus Morris.
Just looked over to Coach Doc Rivers and did the circle of bases sign, like check it over. Oh, beautiful. Backdoor.
Who's number 3?
Marcus Morris.
Marcus Morris.
Play it again.
I believe it was Marcus Morris as well, but play it one more time.
Just looked over to Coach Doc Rivers and did the circle of bases sign, like check it over. Oh, beautiful.
I don't know though, because Marcus Morris didn't come up as much as you think. Play
I
it
think
one
he
more
got
time.
caught in no man's land.
Play it one more time.
Just looked over to
One
Coach
more
Doc Rivers
time.
and did the circle of bases sign, like check it over. Oh, beautiful. Backdoor.
I'm gonna go Paul George.
Yeah,
he wasn't part of the initial pick and roll, and he should have stayed back an edge.
He seemed like he was kind of watching the play. I think Paul George is my pick.
I think he jumped up I think he jumped up in anticipation of there being a defensive play to make. I'm going Paul George. I do think that Marcus Morris overhelped a little, but he didn't come up that far. If Marcus Morris came up any further, he would have gotten beat speed-wise, and if he stayed back another step, he would have had a wide open lane right to the basket.
Is Marcus Morris the one that stepped on Doncic's ankle?
I don't remember.
I didn't watch the series.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
I'm going Paul George.
Marcus Morris.
Paul George.
Paul George.
It was Paul George.
Yeah.
Play it again.
Just
You see
looked
him here,
over to Coach Doc
You have
Rivers and did
the pick and rolls
the circle
coming,
of bases
and
sign,
so
like
yeah,
check
Paul George
it
is
over.
not even part of that
Oh,
defensive play.
beautiful.
Picks up too far. That
Backdoor.
allows the strong
Play it
side
again.
corner player to come in, and Paul George is never going to be able to get in there to play any defense on that.
Just looked over to Coach Doc Rivers.
So I was
and
right.
did
It's always
the
Paul
circle of
George's fault.
bases sign, like check
So yeah, Paul George should have been back 2 steps in that situation.
Cool. Next. I have no idea how many of these there are. Assume the Celtics are switching pick
There's
and rolls.
100 of these. Assume the Celtics are switching pick and rolls. Who screwed up? Okay, all right, so Kemba Walker should have stayed with his man, Van Vliet. Ibaka was the man originally, and Williams let him cut behind for the dunk. That sounds like it would be his fault.
Jaylen Brown was responsible for taking Grant Williams' guy when Williams shifted to protect the rim, and Brown lost track of Baca.
All right, so go ahead and play it.
Both Walker and Brown. Walker didn't close out well, and Brown missed his rotation.
6-point game. Toronto in the lead. Lowry spins, leaves. Ibaka.
Play it
there
again.
with a two-handed jam.
It's one shot and the ball back out of bounds.
6-point game. Toronto in the lead. Lowry
Kendall, do
spins,
me a favor.
leaves.
Play it
Ibaka, there
one
with
more
a
time.
two-handed jam.
In my opinion, it's Kemba Walker.
It's one shot and the ball back out of bounds.
6-point game. Toronto in the lead. Lowry spins,
Walker
leaves.
and Brown.
Ibaka, there with a two-handed jam.
I mean, I definitely see that it's Brown, but I think it's Kemba Walker to begin with.
Play it one more time.
One more time.
One shot and the ball back.
So, Kyle, does that make it that fourth option there?
6-point game.
Oh,
Toronto in the
22
lead.
players.
Lowry
Take
spins,
it.
leaves. Ibaka.
Read
there
the fourth
with a
option.
You know,
you
I
dick.
feel like it's Grant Williams. He says Ibaka was his man originally, and Williams let him cut behind.
Jaylen Brown.
I think it's both Walker and Brown.
Yeah, so do I.
I'm going Jaylen Brown.
Okay, so we got one for Brown. I got me, and then we got 2 for Walker and Brown.
Yeah.
Mock?
Oh, that one.
All right.
All right.
3 for that one.
There it is, Walker and Brown. Walker didn't close out well, and Brown missed his rotation.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, Walker got too aggressive. Right here. He gets too aggressive.
Yeah.
He should have stayed back a step. But
Wouldn't have been beat on the inside if that.
well, he still would have been beat because he's oversized. He's undersized. But Brown didn't rotate. Brown should have. You always come back and you stop the cutter. You never ever stick back and play the 3-point guy.
All right, so we got the Rockets and Lakers. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that name.
Contavious Caldwell-Pope.
Thank you.
He sucks.
Unclear what he is
It's
doing.
his fault.
I like that thing. Unclear what he is doing. He should not have left Gordon open in the corner.
I'm going with
Danny Green, can't allow yourself to get screened off like that. Kuzma, he was supposed to Switch with Caldwell Pope.
Yeah.
And Anthony
Maybe.
Davis, he should have called for the switch when he got matched up.
I'm going with Caldwell Pope.
I'm going with Danny Green.
Let me see.
Sounds like a very Danny Green thing to do.
Daniel House in the ball game along with Jeff Green. Gordon from
Oh,
the
yeah.
corner, fired.
All right. Yeah,
Play
that
again.
might.
Daniel House in the ball game along with Jeff Green.
Yeah,
Oh my
Caldwell
God,
Pope.
he's all alone.
Caldwell Pope.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it's got to be.
It's not
Caldwell
going to be
Pope.
because it's unanimous, but it should be him.
Yeah, it is. Overhelping. Next. That was the easiest one so far. Fuck you, Caldwell Pope.
All right, we'll do a couple more of these.
All of the above.
Assume the Bucks are dropping Giannis in a pick and roll coverage. What might be more effective defensive scheme here against a shooting big man like Porzingis? All right, so have Wes Matthews execute a peel back switch. Switch all pick and rolls involving Matthews and Giannis. Have Giannis show instead of drop. Okay, and all of the above.
Okay, hit it.
No sound on this one.
That's all right.
So,
all right. There's the first one. Hit it again.
Kendall, did the play-by-play.
Yeah, you used to do these all the time for us.
that's true. I'm going to just make up the players. All right. Here we go. Marquez dealing to the right side, kicks it back. Porzingis shoots, and wow, nothing but net there off
Bang!
the rebound.
I'm going to go with have Wes Matthews execute a peel back switch.
I'm going to go with all the above.
I might go with that also.
I'm going to go with Wes because I think you want Giannis. I think you want Giannis where he is because Giannis is going to do more damage inside than he is outside. I go Wes Matthews peel back switch.
Kyle?
All the above because it's usually what it is.
Okay. It is, in fact, all the above.
That's fair. I wouldn't have called it that way, but I understand why.
All right, next. We'll go to 10. Plumlee.
Plumlee. Why is Mason Plumlee not called for a defensive 3-second violation here? Okay.
Okay, so this
See, longest explanation.
All right, so NBA removes defensive 3-second violation when they made zone defense legal.
Don't think
Plumlee
that's true.
first tags Gobert, then gets both feet out of the lane, resetting.
Or
clearing.
cleansing.
Plumlee first got his right foot outside of the lane while his left foot stayed in. He then jumped out of the lane each time. Okay, and teams are allowed to have a man in the middle if they are clearly playing a zone. Okay.
Okay. This one also has no sound.
That's fine.
We'll deal. This is 16 seconds long. Holy shit. This is the longest one we watched.
Well,
So we're getting some split screen action.
Because we're watching an instant replay.
So,
So what technically constitutes a defensive 3-second violation? Kyle?
He's in that key for 3 seconds.
He's in that rectangle for 3 seconds.
That's a bad thing?
If he's in it for 3 seconds, it's a defensive 3 seconds. You can't just have someone camped in the middle and playing defense the whole time.
This ain't slam ball.
slam ball.
I don't know what slam ball
He
is.
got out of it.
He didn't get out of it.
She did.
If 1 foot is out, does that count?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, then he got out of it.
Yeah, so it's C.
Yeah, it's C.
The long one.
Yeah, that one. Ah.
What?
It says Plumlee first tags Gobert, then gets both feet out of the lane, resetting or cleansing his 3-second
okay.
clock.
So I see what they're saying.
Play it
I
again.
missed the tags thing. So when you're playing defense inside the zone, if an offensive player, even if he's in or out of the zone, if it's something that if you put your arm on him or you have your hand on him because
If you touch him like this?
No, not like that. It's if he's causing you to be in the zone, you aren't going to get a 3-second call.
Okay.
They're not going to call it 3. If someone's backing you down with a foot outside of the zone, continuously just kind of dribbling back into you, and you're in there defending. You're not playing there to camp.
Right.
You're playing there because you have to play defense there. So that's what they meant by tagging, and I misunderstood tagging when I read it. So he tags with Gobert because the way Gobert was positioned offensively outside of the lane was causing Plumlee to stay in the lane. So he goes up, he's got his hand up on him, and he's playing defense. He's clearly playing defense there. Then when he comes back across the zone, you see him get both feet out of the zone, and he comes back in. So that makes sense. I misunderstood tag.
Hit it. What is 2-9ing?
What?
2.9ing.
Where do you see that?
I think the 2.9 is in reference to 3 seconds.
Oh, yeah, you're milking it. You're making sure you get everything you can out of the zone.
Gotcha.
All right, so who screwed up here?
This is Celtics and Raptors again.
All right, so he overhelped, leaving his man open for 3. Robert Williams supposed to rotate from the paint to the 3-point line. Kemba Walker, once he sees Oje, how do you say it, Kyle?
I don't know.
All right, so once he sees him rotate to his man, he's supposed to X out and get the shooter to the and no one this play was defended well. All right, go ahead.
What a weapon that Boston has. Walker matching Lowry now with 11 points.
I'm gonna go with D.
Delivers run right between the eyes.
I think that was just an excellent offensive play.
What a weapon that Boston has. Walker matching Lowry now.
I mean, he got overlaid, but I don't think it was really his fault.
What a weapon.
Walker was late getting there, though.
Walker matching Lowry now with 11 points.
Marcus Smart. There.
It's not his fault, Kyle. You're gonna blame Marcus Smart, the best defender on that team.
Marcus Smart's not even an option.
I mean,
the fourth option.
I might go Ojale over helping.
Play it one more time.
No one.
What a weapon that Boston has. Walker.
I mean, I personally say Kemba.
Yeah, I would say Kemba
there were
too.
so many people in the paint that Kemba should have
rotated out.
He should have rotated out, but understanding like that, it takes time to dissect the play and see what's going on.
His reaction time was a little slow, but
so
I'm going with C.
I'm going to go with C as well.
Kyle?
D.
Mock?
D.
Kendall?
I go A.
All right.
I hope Kendall's right.
All right.
No, Kemba Walker. That was the one. C was correct. Let's
All right.
see one more time
Sounds
just for the
good.
sake.
Mass, this is a good one. If there's more of these, let's save them. We'll do them another time.
Cool. Well, there's 10 of them, so we got
That's
you
it?
got all of them right except for 2. So you got 8 out of 10. Good job.
Hey, I'd be interested for other sports, which I think only kind of comes in.
I didn't make this for what it's worth.
No, I know, but you found it, so I mean, you were searching something.
Okay.
Pornhub.
Hockey. We're doing hockey in 3 weeks when they're back.
Perfect.
Who fucked up? I know Mock's always going to pick the goalie because he let it in.
Yeah, it's his fault.
So did you guys get a chance to review the teams?
Yep.
Nope, Mock didn't.
Forgot all about that.
All right, so go make a random list generator, Kendall. We'll do some beer reviews real quick while he gets that going. So everybody had the cloud source from Two Roads. Kyle, what'd you think?
Very good. 4 to 5.
4 to 5. Top 10 beer all time?
No.
Not even top 10?
Probably, but I don't have to think about it.
Rank them right now, all top 10. I'm just kidding. Mock, what'd you think?
I thought the cloud source was very good.
Is this your first time having it?
Yes.
Yeah? You liked it?
I thought it was very good. Pretty smooth.
I thought it was kind of like a session hazy IPA. Like, it wasn't light. It was like, it wasn't...
It was very light.
But sessions, I don't know, like, at least to me, sessions aren't as smooth. Like, you get the bite a little more. I know they're lower, but this I didn't think had that. I thought this was pretty good. Especially as it got warmer, the flavor opened
Type
up.
the names, Kendall.
Oh.
Mass?
Sorry. It's kind of daydreaming there.
I enjoyed it. I mean, citrus notes were there. It was great. This was an hour and a half ago. I killed this in maybe the first 30 minutes, so I don't remember it that well. I mean, it was light. It was hazier than I thought it would be, but it wasn't a bad hazy. I would get it again. I'd give that 3.5 stars.
Pretty crushable, juicy IPA.
Yeah.
I'm glad it comes in a 12-ounce can. I can see myself drinking.
Yeah. I think I
drinking
definitely...
a 6-pack of these at a party.
Yeah. I went in, I think, with very high expectations for whatever reason. I think just because I bought it and didn't drink it right away.
Also, too, I think because it's a Two Roads IPA. Two Roads has been, ever since Two Roads came out with the Road to Ruin. I mean, I think Mock would agree with this.
Can you guys shut the fuck up?
Wow, I was so
Let me
progressive.
fucking talk, you asshole.
I think Mock would agree with this. I mean, Two Roads, they launched with the Road to Ruin. It's shortly after Edition Little Heaven. Then you go into it with the
Too Juicy.
Too Juicy. I mean, I know Mock's not a fan, but the Lil Juicy, and then they've high expectations from the IPA world in the Two Roads industry, right?
And they just make a lot of good beers anyway.
Yeah,
So
but I'm saying,
yeah,
like
I
high
agree.
expectations, I don't think
Yeah.
is something that you should shy away from when you're coming from a
No,
Two Roads
absolutely not.
IPA, especially one that's advertised as juicy.
Yeah.
And then the other one that we had too, the Everything But the Kitchen Sink.
Yeah.
Another one, good one. They make good beers, except for Rosemary Baby. Fuck the pumpkin game. That's terrible.
I don't. That was just like a stretch.
Yeah.
Getting in the game. Don't need to be.
They do make the other Rosemary Baby, which I think is cool that they do that. The rum barrel aged one.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like it, but I think it's cool. Kyle, you had a couple other craft beers over there that we've had on the show before. Omegang Neon Rainbows?
Yeah.
Or Neon, which one is that? Neon Lights?
Neon Lights.
What'd you think? You've had it before, but...
It's good.
Yeah.
I like the rainbow one better.
Okay.
But it's still like a...
Stars?
3.8.
3.8, all right. And then you finished off with the Pipeworks collab.
Water Balloon College Champs.
Yep, the Clementine Ale. Clementine IPA.
3.9.
3.9, you like that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Anything else? Do you have anything else? No? Rest of us, Busch Light?
12 out of 12.
I mean, for what it is, I could drink it forever.
Yup.
Easy drinking.
There's some companies that just know how to make a shitty beer.
Kyle.
What?
What's up?
So we got the random list. So everyone's good.
Kendall, what S?
Go ahead, randomize. All right, so
fuck.
Yeah.
Well, Kyle, you're just picking
Got
your
last.
Team, right?
So you're gonna pick one of the 6 teams, Kyle. You just got to pick one. All right, Kyle, you got it.
The radio.
Dude, shut up.
Or listen, it's a podcast. I mean,
is it? I thought
Well,
we were an
it's-
internet radio show.
well, it's both. That's the nice part. We are hybrid.
Team 1.
Okay. So, Mock, you're up next.
Yeah. Man, Paul, you did a good job separating these teams.
I tried to make it so that one team wasn't too overly hyped. So basically, what I did was on this while you're deciding, everyone else can look. Use this opportunity if you want, unless Matt already knows what he's taking last. But what I did was, so like I said, I kind of did a snake order. So like team 1 through 6, I did 1 first, all the way to 6. I did quarterback, so I did quarterback 1, then quarterback 12, and then 13, because that's how you would do it in a snake if you were just doing quarterbacks. And then I went 1 through 6, and then I started with 6 for running backs and went to 1. So teams 3 and 4 are going to be really well balanced, whereas team 1 and 6, you'll notice team 1, for example, Kyle picked team 1, right? So team 1, you're going to notice they have Mahomes and Watson, or Mahomes and Thomas, but then the next wide receiver, even in a 6-team league, goes straight to Cooper, which, not a bad wide receiver, but in a 6-team league, for your 1-2 to be Thomas Cooper, you'd be like, what the fuck? And then you look at running backs, they're stuck with Henry and Edwards-Helaire, so they got kind of the shaft of the running back selection. Yeah.
We can change the players.
You can change the players.
I gotta send it to you.
You have to send it to me before Thursday.
Okay.
So the bench players you see there, and the flexes aren't set. I just put the wide receivers in the flex so I can keep track. But you can change this however you want. You have 2 kickers, you have 2 defense, you have extra receivers, extra running backs, and you have 3 quarterbacks. You only need 2. So I'm saying, so you have plenty. You have an extra tight end as well, and buys shouldn't be an issue. If that comes to it, we'll figure it out when the time comes. So you're going team 1.
Yeah.
Mock?
Team 2.
All right. Kendall, I believe you're next.
I'm going team 6.
Okay. I'm next, and I had... Who did I have here?
I'll tell you, team 6 is close to my perfect team.
So we have 6 teams. Is just one team left?
One team won't get picked. Yeah. I'm going team 4.
I'm going team 5. I don't know what's on team 5. I told Ashley to pick 6 random numbers in that order, and I picked the highest one that was left.
All right, so just for ha-has, we'll go through. So team 3 was the only team not picked, so I'll list that team just for ha-has. Your quarterbacks are Deshaun Watson, Carson Wentz, and Cam Newton. Running backs are Dalvin Cook, Kenyon Drake, David Johnson, Le'Veon Bell, and Ronald Jones. Your receivers are Julio Jones, Adam Thielen, Cameron Sutton, Keenan Allen, Devontae Parker, and Deebo Samuel. Tight ends are Mark Andrews, Rob Gronkowski, and Jack Doyle. Kickers are Will Lutz and whatever Gonzalez. And the defenses are Baltimore Ravens and New England Patriots.
I'm pretty happy with my team.
So
I got team 5, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
So those are the teams, so I'll keep track of it. Like I said, I'm going to use the sleeper scoring to keep track of the players' points. I'll come in, on Monday, every show with where we're at. Obviously, next Monday, we're not going to be able to report, even at the end of the show, who won, because we do the double Monday night header. So the second game won't end until about 1:30 in the morning, our time. So we'll have to kind of do like a recap of that the following week, and we'll do some social media posts. Yeah. And then I'll text the guys to do the pick. So we'll do it, and it's in order. Whoever wins gets first pick.
Do you guys want to hear our team?
No.
Oh, for the podcast? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's hear the team.
This is the versus other sports shows.
Yeah. Fuck you guys, but also good job.
All right. So our first quarterback is Drew Brees. Running backs.
I would say, hold on, sorry, just for fluidity and speed, I wouldn't go in like the way you pick. Just like name your quarterbacks, name your running.
I think that's what he's
doing. I'm doing it like
just down our roster.
All right, go ahead.
Running backs: Christian McCaffrey, Le'Veon Bell.
Did the first pick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wide receivers: Julio Jones, DeAndre Hopkins, and Julian Edelman.
Okay.
Darren Waller, John Brown, Tariq Cohen, Matt Ryan, Greg Zuerlein, and Pittsburgh defense. Our bench is Teddy Bridgewater, Tevin Coleman, Matt Breida, Brashard Perriman, Alan Laser, Darius Slayton.
That's how you know it's a shitty bench. Like too many picks.
Yeah.
Like too many bench spots.
Picks. Mike Gillespie and Seattle defense.
How many teams were there?
10 teams, 20 rounds.
200 picks? Oh my god.
That's a lot.
Not even 200 good NFL players.
Me and Kyle both just like literally just pick somebody.
Well, good job, guys.
What do you think?
Listen,
I think Kendall would have done a better job because we would have gotten all the Denver running backs. But
that's true.
We'll take a mistake.
We also would have gotten all the Chargers players.
It's true. AFC West all the way. But listen, guys, it's on you. Bring it home to GSWD, the
Closing
greatest
remarks?
sports podcast / radio show / lifestyle magazine.
Sorry.
Yeah, closing remarks. Anybody have anything they want to close out with? Mass?
Yeah, I feel like we should put this as the GSWD poll for this week. Mrs. Mass and I are getting a dog.
Tibetan Mastiff.
I don't know yet. We're waiting to hear
Are we
tomorrow.
picking breed? What are we picking?
No.
Oh, name?
So Mrs. Mass texted me tonight and said, I want to name the dog Ramsey. She has no idea.
Okay. All right.
What do you guys think? Bad name?
Donald.
Yes, I think it's
I
bad
personally like Wilson.
It's hilarious because
She doesn't know.
No, but that's what's funny is because you do and other people know.
Yeah, exactly. So what do we think?
It's
Ramsey,
like,
yes
when
or no?
Karen let Chris name his dog Judge.
All right, so we got one no from Kyle. What do we got from Mock?
I would say no.
Paul?
Is it a boy or a girl?
Don't know yet.
Then no. Can't name a girl dog Ramsey.
So let's say it's a boy.
Still no.
Okay.
Because then your dog's overrated as fuck.
Yeah.
Kendall?
No, but I'll tell you what. If you have a boy dog, the dog's name is going to be Atlas. That's an awesome name for a dog.
That's fucking awesome. I like it.
Chadwick.
I would just name him Chog the dog.
Oh, also rest in
Yeah, it's a play off of Greg the Leg. Chog the dog.
Rest in peace, Black Panther.
Also, I think you should just name him Doge. It's a good name, just Doge.
Soft G.
Yeah.
Doge.
I like it.
All right. Anybody else?
You know, I had something. I forgot what it was.
Hey, Mark, where can they find us?
I had something. I'm real bummed right now.
Be sure to find us on Facebook and Instagram at Getting Sports with Drunk. Twitter is GSWD_4.
Make sure to use the hashtag GSWD for all your daily uses, whether it's doing a NBA defensive breakdown play-by-play or remembering your thought mid-show.
Subscribe on Podbean, iTunes, Google Play, iHeartRadio. We are live on Spreaker every week.
Spreaker.
Be sure to check out the other shows on the PPRN Radio Network. Kendall?
Hey, PPRN, 10 years. And
Damn.
guess what? It's coming back to a 24-hour radio format.
We heard it.
Right now, well, look, this is important. It's 10 years, and guess what? The 24-hour radio is coming back after a year and a half hiatus.
10 years is a long time. It's longer than Kendall's been alive.
Right, exactly. We're actually building the music right now. It's actually going down. Every person
It's all
on
Tom
Pete's
Petty.
show is selecting the music from
Ken,
itself.
I feel you were 17 10 years ago.
God, is that even correct? I don't even know. How old am I now?
You know, I wish we had some time to dig into what Kendall's playlist is.
Trash.
A lot of good stuff.
A lot of Paul Wall.
But until next time.
There'll be
Greatest
some.
rapper of all time, right?
Paul,
No,
what was
not
your
of all
thought?
time.
Oh, so just real quick, what did you guys think of the rye tasting?
I thought it was fun. It was a lot better than the whiskey and scotches.
No, we didn't
we
do
have
scotches.
so
Just
why don't you bite your tongue there, Master?
Shut up, Kyle.
The Michters was my favorite.
Which one was that?
Overall. I think it was the third one
Number
we had.
3, yep, okay.
I like the fruity one.
The last one?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's a cool...
The last one was the Crown Royal Private Select.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know they made one.
The second one wasn't bad either, though. I don't remember what the
look
second
at that.
one was.
Bag and all.
Look at that. I don't remember what the second one was, but I liked the second one. I remember that.
The second one was the Bullet Ride.
That was pretty good.
All right, so again, make sure to tune in next week. We will not be joined live by the Mass, or not by the Mass, by Mock
Apparently, I
Sheen.
won't be here next week, folks.
Yeah, Mock Sheen and Solze, Mojito.
I might miss our game.
You won't.
Better without me.
But they'll join us, and I can't even. I'm going to be honest with you. They're probably not even going to join us via Skype because the Giants Steelers game is going to be on, and unfortunately, Giants Steelers are those two guys' teams. So there's a pretty good chance they don't Skype in at all.
Who's your game next week?
So yeah, but we'll see you guys next week. Until then, I'm your hostess, Cupcake the Riddler.
I'm Mock,
the captain.
Yep.
Mojito.
The Mask Chris Massey.
And I'm the Rat of a Red Baron.
Rat.
Yeah.